Chat. What's good, everybody? It's Batman. We're over here doing a reaction video of a Naruto debate between Noodles, who is taking Kakuzu, and between D1, who is taking Minato. Now, one thing, there's going to be two clarifications I'm going to make here. I'm a very honest person. Whether you guys believe it or not. So, at the end of the day, we all should know that Minato takes this fight effortlessly. Like, it would be a complete stomp on his part. He would fucking, like, he would destroy Kakuzu before he could even blink, okay? So I'm just going to put that out there. That's who I'm obviously going for, and the majority would also say the same. Like, it's a no fucking brainer, okay? We all know at the end of the day, Noodles is just either trolling, or he seriously believes in it so much, okay, that fucking, to him, it's just not stupidity for whatever unknown reason, okay? So, putting that out there first. But, second clarification, I will be judging the debate. And, towards the end of it, I will give my final thoughts of who won it, in my opinion. And I will also say, who I think would obviously win in the fight. Okay? Which we all know should be fucking Minato. And you already know, because I just fucking said it. But I'll explain why, and it'll be very short and brief. I'm not going to say every fucking feed, scan, statement, data book. I'm not going to do all that. I'm just going to make it very brief, very simple. And overall, Minato just dominates by speed, by intellect, and by fucking jutsus alone. Like, if Kakuzu can't even fucking handle a Raisen Shuriken, which, remind you, was a 50% Raisen Shuriken that rivaled the power of the 4th Hokage, which is literally a legitimate statement, okay? If he can't even take that shit, what makes you think he could take a fucking Rasengan in Sage mode with Minato? Or even like a massive Rasengan from fucking Minato, you know what I mean? To his back, blindsided. Like, come on now. Like, he dies by a fucking Raikiri, which, don't get me wrong, Raikiri is no joke. But then he also dies by a 50% Raisen Shuriken, and remind you, this is from a fatigued, tired Naruto that trained for 3 fucking days straight. And then pulled up on the battlefield, and even Kakuzu, who is a very incredible analysis, okay, analyzes Naruto and is like, oh, he looks pretty roughed up, and so, you know what I mean, like, okay, interesting, so meaning that he's not, like, completely worried because he's not having to fight a whole other fucking opponent, like, that's maxed out, ready to go, so overall, like, Minato, it's obvious as day, at least I hope it would be, but you'd be surprised. There's a lot of Ramen Pack supporters out there. He has about like 2,000 something supporters. So there are those ding dongs that are out there, whether if they're just trolls or whether if they truly believe it as well. Whatever, I don't care. Better than that, that's going to be it. So at the end of the day, even though I completely disagree with Noodles, if he technically wins the debate, I will say he won the debate. And then when we get to the truth of Naruto, like how it would go down, that Kishimoto made it very fucking obvious, which is, I don't even know why this is even a discussion, but there are people, unfortunately, that want to have hypothetical characters or, interpretation-based arguments and hype up a character or rank him to such a high standard to where apparently he's a god and he could be able to take on the goats of Naruto, or just any anime in general. People do that shit all the fucking time. So, but yeah, so we're gonna do that, and overall that'll be it for this video. So we're gonna react about 52 minutes. Hopefully we can keep this between an hour and 15 minutes or an hour and 20 minutes, 30 minutes max. So if you guys stick all the way to the end, appreciate you, thank you. If you don't, whatever. At least hopefully you enjoy the beginning and the middle. So let's do it. And another thing, I should have said this in the beginning. Comment any debates that you guys know that were actually either funny or that were actually really good, or interesting. I don't mind. It doesn't have to be Noodles. It doesn't have to be D1. It could be anything. It could be Six. It could be Swag. It could be Seth. I don't care. Name it. Let me know what the video title is. The video title and the people that are debating, and I will go react and check that out as well. I'm an open book, So, but yeah, that'll be it. Let's do it.
Are you aware about like Hidan saying that his attacks, like he's the slowest member in the Akatsuki?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are you aware of that statement?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am.
Okay, are you aware of Hidan telling Kakuzu that he can't kill him?
Can't kill who?
He can't kill Hidan.
No, I'm not aware of that statement, but
okay,
I'll accept it.
Okay, you'll accept it, right? So
yeah.
Kakuzu, right? So it's this like occasion where they're trying to fight like Yugito or whatever, right? And then Kakuzu was like, "Oh, I'll leave it up to him because Kakuzu is the one who can't kill Yugito." but Hidan is the one who actually defeats Yugito or whatever, right?
Okay, so the statement is that Kakuzu's like, hey, Hidan, you take this one. And then Hidan's like, oh, Kakuzu, you're usually the doer. Why are
Noodles'
you
mic
making
is
me
so
do
much
this?
louder.
I probably can't even tag her because I'm the slowest in the Akatsuki.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Kakuzu immediately after is able to react and tank an attack from Yugito.
How is he tanking an attack?
Because he wasn't harmed by it. He doesn't
Okay,
even
can you
show
show
any
me
damage.
that? Can you show me that?
So
Yeah.
that's an interesting point right there. So Noodles just made a statement and said that he wasn't harmed, meaning that it doesn't matter, meaning that therefore everything that D1 just stated as to try to pull as like an anti-feat or whatever, yada yada. You know, that's the base premises of it. Now, one thing I'm going to say is, you know, first off, Noodles can't even be able to prove it. What's it called? The only thing that Noodles would do, which in character is what I would do if I was in his stance, is he's gonna show the scan or the page afterwards where it shows Kakuzu in the robe and like there's nothing, you know what I mean? Like it looks perfectly fine. Now Hit On was the one that was actually roughed up. If my memory is right, I apologize if it's not. It's been a bit since I've seen that. But I believe Hit On was all fucked up though. And then he was also obviously in his ritual state, finishing off Yukito, and then they went to capture her and seal. But Kakuzu was perfectly fine. Now, you know, and so Noodles is like, well, since he looks perfectly fine, therefore, you know, blah blah this and that. But this is the thing though, with Kakuzu, okay, when Yukito goes to attack, the first person she attacks is Kakuzu, okay, and Kakuzu he is able to react, but he blocks the hit with his arm. Okay, now what's interesting, I think in the anime he blocks it with his arm, and in the manga he actually catches it with his hand. But either way, while he either blocks it with his arm or catches it with his hand, he's still being pushed downward in momentum to where he gets slammed into the ground and like buried underneath the ground. Like he literally just gets slammed into the ground directly. So, and he's kind of out of the fight for that time being. Obviously, he's not dead, you know. You could either assume that maybe he lost a heart from that, or you could assume that he didn't, whatever, okay? Either way, he got slammed into the fucking ground, clearly showing that the tail beast was way more powerful than him. If Kakuzu was more powerful, or better yet, had the AP just with taijutsu alone, he would have easily countered it, stalemated it, or sent the tail beast launched back. That never was shown. Instead, it shows Kakuzu getting dominated and overwhelmed and slammed into the ground. And then the tail beast shoots a fireball at Hit On, and Hit On doesn't tank it, remind you, or doesn't fucking just punch it, you know. Instead, he jumps out of the way and dodges it, and then hides behind a wall and starts freaking out, saying this is really bad. So, from that fight alone, you know, there's a lot of ways to go about it to do the direction of arguments and so on and so forth and etc. But, you know, what pisses me off, and Noodles tries to analyze that fight and make every excuse in the book to build a hypothetical character, aka Kakuzu, and to state from just that one moment to where he blocks the hit and then gets slammed. Therefore, now he's fucking invincible, multi-continental, KCM 2-level speed, like you fucking name it. Like, it's mind-blowing where the direction Noodles goes just from that fight scene alone. But that's all I'm going to say on that. We're going to continue. Yeah, so that's my only take on that. So...
Yeah, he was fine after the attack. I'll find it.
Okay, you saying that he was fine after the attack doesn't mean that he reacted to the attack.
He
The
grabbed
attack
it with his
still-
hands.
Okay, let me see that.
Okay.
Jiren violated.
What did Arrow News talk about again? I don't fucking know.
A bunch of shit.
And I'll look for a scan as well while you're doing that.
Nice notes, True.
I'm making some notes, you know. Make sure.
All right. Would you peep at scans? And here is Kakuzu blocking an attack from Yugito.
Okay.
Scans, hold on.
And Hidan specifically says he's too slow to attack Yugito as well, if you want that one.
Okay, but he's the one who actually ends up beating Yugito.
Yeah, he's the one who
Right.
does a ritual at the end. but
So,
we don't.
another thing, even if Hit-On was too slow, Kakuzu is also too slow as well. Never does it show where Kakuzu has this crazy level of speed. that everyone thinks he has, to where, you know, he could have just easily dodged, or you know what I mean, or whatever, and then that's it. Instead, he had no choice. The only thing he could do, from the tail beast moving alone, technically speed blitzing him, he could only block and then get slammed into the ground. So I don't see why that was relevant to even say or whatever, but that's just me. So we'll see what D1 has to say.
I don't actually know if he was the one to harm her or not.
She's comfy turn. So okay. Just because
Like-
he reacts to one attack of her doesn't mean anything, right? Can you show me?
And
the
there you
attack?
go. That's an easy claim anyone can make, and it is true. It's absolutely true. Like, there's really no way to quantify that. Like, there's really, like, it's very stupid. You know what I mean? Like, and not only that, we all know that, like, Kakuzu can just reattach limbs and so on and so forth. So for all we know, his arm could have just been fucking cut off, and then he just reattached it after the time skip, because there is a time skip in that fight as well. It goes from, like, that little clash and then to hit on doing the ritual. So, you know, it's such a weird fucking, you know, screen or whatever, and it's just stupid. And in my opinion, it's really stupid for people to even bring that up and to even try to scale and make interpretations. It's very dumb.
And like before this, like the whole altercation, basically.
Yeah, I can find the chapter if you want. It'll take me a minute, but
Okay.
You banned him? That would be so funny.
He thought-
too. When Kakuzu tells him to do it.
Oh.
Because Kakuzu, it was like a narrative point that Kakuzu had killed all of his previous partners, and the reason he wasn't able to kill Hidan was due to the immortality.
Okay, right. Are you aware that Hidan can be killed?
No, he can't.
He can't be killed.
No, he just got buried alive. There's nothing to actually show he was killed.
He died
How do we know he died?
because he died from. Don't you know? Like if he doesn't eat, he can die from like nutrients, and his body just decays. and he
Is
just
that
dies.
ever shown? I'm pretty sure it just says he's immortal.
Okay, right. I'll
So-
show you.
I'm going to say this. Both of them, it's kind of irrelevant. That really doesn't support anything. Okay, so what D1, what he needs to do is clarify and rephrase what he's saying. So basically what D1 should be saying is that there is a way to technically kill head-on, okay? Like, that, obviously, it wouldn't mean he's, like, dead, you know what I mean? But technically, you would say he's out of the equation, or whatever, dead, okay? Like, you know, he's not really elaborating on that, but see, Noodles is like, well, there's nothing to prove that, blah, blah. Well, guess what? There is a lot of things to nothing to prove of what Kakuzu can do. Yeah, you're doing the same fucking shit. But anyways, that's besides the point. But either way, like, with Noodles, he's wrong, because fucking, literally, like, for all you know, that is a good point D1 made, you know, ninjas, they all have to eat, they all have to drink, and so on and so forth, you know what I mean? Like, with lack of nutrients, on etc., like, science itself, biology, like, that is a thing, you know what I mean? So, like, yeah, his body will either decay, whatever, and then bam, he's dead. That is a possibility. I'm not saying that it's absolutely the truth, but that is a possibility. Okay, that's a good point. But then back to D1, the reason why, then again, he could be wrong as well, is because for all we know, this is a fictional fucking the Naruto universe, where they're just fucking ninja, alien fucking, you know, chakra and shit, you know what I mean, you name it, okay? And for all we know, since Hidan is technically considered immortal and worships the god of Josh, you know, whatever the fucking god was called again, I know it starts with a J, for all we know, that he's just still buried under that ground, and he's perfectly fine. He's just fucking stuck there, you know what I mean? Whatever, you know? So, and that's it, you know, and that's due to his hacks ability, or that's just due to what he is. Like, maybe he's just this weird-ass fucking entity, you know what I mean? So, meaning that even if he doesn't have nutrients, you know what I mean? Like, he's still alive, but he just obviously can't fight now, because his entire body is nothing but limb parts and etc., you know, and he was beheaded and everything. So, overall, like, for both of them, it's stupid, but I get what Noodles is saying, and I get what D1 is saying. They both technically have good points.
And if he only can die from nutrients, that doesn't mean he can die in battle, right? So that makes sense.
So
for
he
Kakuzu.
can be killed.
No,
right?
I didn't agree to that, though. That doesn't mean he can be killed.
Okay, what is being killed, right? What is
I
being
was
killed?
playing
Like,
solos.
And being killed is where someone is like
Shikamaru
to attack and kill you,
killed
right?
him. He killed Hidan. Do you know what killed? I'll give you the
Can you
definition.
show me that he actually
I'll
killed
give
him?
I'll give you the definition of killed.
No, just show me that he killed him first. then
First,
we get
okay,
to that.
wait. First, I'll give you the definition of killed, and then I'll show you that he killed him.
Okay, go ahead then.
Because obviously you're not aware that Hidan is dead. Okay.
Who has who? Sorry, just so
I have Kakuzu.
I have Minato.
Yeah, he's Minato.
Okay, look at general. This is the definition of kill.
Post in
Cause
scans,
of
please.
death. Okay, I'll post in the scans as well for you.
Oh, I should have mentioned beforehand, but I'm recording this, so once this debate ends, are you okay with me uploading this to YouTube?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
Cause the death of a person or other living
Yeah.
thing.
So
right?
is
the
like
death.
is
Okay,
Kakuzu
right.
gonna like take Hedon's Cheerios till he dies or something?
No, he killed. I'll just show you that he's not dead.
Well, the
That was funny. I'll give that to Noodles. Is Hedon gonna take Minato's Cheerios to stay? Oh, that was funny. He's coming in with that disrespect energy now. Come on, D1, you gotta match that shit. Don't let him disrespect you.
issue is like if he only can die from a lack of nutrients, right? That's not something Kakuzu can conceivably do unless he like
He
buries him
can
in
kill
rubble.
him in some sort of way. That's my whole point.
Well, that just like again, this is not like an anti-feat for Kakuzu because that just means he just dies from
I
lack of
disagree with
nutrients.
that. So basically, I can see where the direction is D1 is going. Obviously, I'm going to listen a little bit further to confirm that. But I think the direction D1 is going is basically what he's implying is, Kakuzu has statements to where he said out of all his partners, blah, blah, yada, yada, he can't kill them. Or no, he killed all of them, but Hidon's different because he's immortal, yada, yada, etc. Okay, yet what D1 is saying is there is a way to get rid of Hidon out of the equation. There is a way to beat him. It is, which quote unquote would be a way of killing him technically. Okay, meaning that like what Shikamaru did, if you just cut off his head, you know what I mean, or blow up his entire body over and over and over to where all his body parts are just on the fucking ground, and then bury it with nothing but rocks and dirt. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a way of fucking technically killing him. Whether or not if he's still alive or not, that doesn't matter. The bottom line is it's still a way to eliminate him as a threat, and that is the direction D1 I believe is going in. And with that being the case, that is a good point, and it does make sense. And the reason why is because Kakuzu, with how intelligent Noodles claims him to be, you know what I mean, his intellect with his analysis abilities as well, with the data book statements and etc. And overall, with him being alive since from the era of the first Okage, okay, you would think Kakuzu, if he really wanted to, he could be able to kill Hidon. It is weird. I understand D1's perspective on that. It's like this guy has all the wisdom, the knowledge, experience, etc., and it seems like a very intelligent shinobi, has incredible analysis abilities. Yet he's making a statement to himself to where he thinks he can't kill Hidon. That is a little weird. You know what I mean? You would think he would find a way or be able to and just do the same thing Shikamaru did or whatever. You know what I mean? So or better yet, fucking who's to say that Hidon doesn't have the durability to fucking tank, a full-on wind/fire combination ninjutsu attack from his, weird fucking chakra things, and then he just gets incinerated and turned to dust. And yes, Hidon's immortal, but then if he's fucking dust and he doesn't have healing regeneration abilities, which we know that he doesn't have healing regeneration because he couldn't heal his head, instead it had to be attached back on by Kakuzu, okay? He ain't no Deadpool or Wolverine or Hulk, okay? Therefore, would easily imply that Hidon is technically, he is immortal, but not immortal with regeneration. So meaning all Kakuzu would have to do is just either behead him, or take all his body parts up and do exactly what Shikamaru did, or just incinerate him with his ninjutsu. And that would be a way of eliminating him, or quote-unquote, killing him. So, I understand the direction D1 is going with this. It does make sense. It is a good point. And the fact that Noodles is not comprehending that, in my opinion, I think that's a little bit of ignorance on that part. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I wasn't the judge in that debate. But if I was a judge, I would give that as a point for D1. That does make sense, okay? And what Noodles should be doing, instead of Noodles just disagreeing, he should refute it, blah, blah, etc., which I'm assuming he's going to do. But, overall, it's understandable. That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't see the confusion or why that doesn't work.
It's not from lack of strength or something like that, right? Like
Okay,
not battle
but
power.
the fact that Kakuzu is not capable of killing him, and Hidon can be killed, right? That's my whole point of this, right?
But he only can be killed by nutrients.
I'm saying that Hidan can be killed, right?
Not in battle,
Because Shikamaru did find a way for him to die.
D1, think about this, right? If someone's fighting in battle, right, and they can't be killed in battle, but they can be killed from a lack of nutrients, Kakuzu not being able to kill Hidan in battle is not an anti-feat because Hidan still is unable to be killed in battle.
Okay,
right?
I don't think you're following my point, right?
Like the only way Kakuzu could kill him if that was the case is to bury him in rubble.
Noodles is not exactly what D1 said. He's not following him. So basically, like I said, D1 is just saying that there is a way to deal with Hidan, yet Kakuzu couldn't do that. Okay, so what Noodles should be doing, instead of him just bullshitting, which that's basically what he's doing right now, what Noodles should be doing is being like, okay, well, you know, you do know that there's plenty of moments where characters have downplay statements, you know what I mean, so on and so forth, like Minato, you know, Itachi, so on and so forth, etc. Like, meaning that overall, all because a character states something doesn't mean it's actually true, and instead there could be a contrary to that, or there's tons of evidence to support otherwise. Okay, so in meaning, therefore, okay, for all we know, Kakuzu's just saying that shit because we all know that Hidan is immortal. So meaning that Kakuzu would have to do a little bit of extra work to get rid of him if he wanted to, but instead he prefers not to, because since his partner is immortal, not only is he a very good, like, duo partner to where, like, they work really freaking well. Like, you got two fucking immortal beings. That's a big fucking deal. So there's that to put into consideration that, you know, Kakuzu would obviously want to take advantage of and exploit. And the reason why he would want to take advantage of that and exploit that is because at the end of the day, we all know Kakuzu only cares about money and bounties. He doesn't care about anything else. He's in the Akatsuki due to him being able to potentially get bigger bounties, meaning aka more money. Okay, and then you could also argue that he's also in the Akatsuki because Pain forced him to. Especially if we're referring to the video games, a lot of people think it's not canon. So everyone does think it's canon. In my opinion, I do think it's canon because there's evidence and to where Kishimoto was heavily involved in, etc. But I'm not going to get into that. But overall, like, you know, that would be a good direction for Noodles to kind of take. You know, there could be other things, you know, whatever. But I feel like that would be a really good, you know, argument to kind of say back. Because that would be in character for Kakuzu. You know what I mean? Like, you know, why would he want to get rid of his partner when he could just get more money with that type of partner, since due to him being immortal and having an insane hacks ability? Like, Hidan is one of those characters to where if you don't have intel on him and you underestimate him, you're going to lose that fight no matter who you are. Unless you have some broken regeneration abilities, you will die. You know what I mean? You know, or some weird immortality ability like Kakuzu. So if you don't have that, you're basically fucked. It doesn't matter who you are. You know what I mean? So that's what makes Hidan so dangerous. You know what I mean? Not because, you know, he's known for, like, his speed or, you know, or fucking, you know, whatever power, you know what? No, he's just dangerous because if he lands one single scratch on you, all the damage that happens to him reverts back to you, and any damage he does to himself, you also feel. Your durability is irrelevant. All of it is irrelevant. It's kind of similar to what Byakugan users can do, to where if they hit your organ, you know, with their chalk and all that, it doesn't matter about durability. It doesn't matter about any of that shit, okay? You're going to get fucked up. There's no way to train your organs, you know? So overall, like, that's just my whole take on that. But let's kind of hear it out from both sides. I don't want to pause again until a little bit later on, and then I'll give my thoughts so far on what's being discussed and overall. So far, it's kind of equal in my opinion. You know, a lot of back and forth, a lot of good points on either side. But as with this point directly, I feel like D1 is taking it a little bit more on the edge, and in my opinion, at least, if I was being a judge. So overall, D1 is currently in the lead.
Right, which he could do, but it's not something that he can conceivably do. Right, like he doesn't have any jutsu that makes a hole like Shikamaru made. Right, Hidan could probably dig his way out.
Come on, Noodles, you're like the Kakuzu tard. That's a little weird. He does. He has jutsus that can make a big hole in the ground. Absolutely, he does. You could even argue with his rock armor taijutsu, he can make a big enough hole. Come on now, you know? Like, isn't this guy multi-continental AP? What do you mean, Noodles? Sorry, I had to put that out there.
Are you done? All right.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, right, the fact that Kakuzu, right, says that he can't kill Hidan, right, and Hidan can be killed, means that Hidan will be over Kakuzu, right? And this is further corroborated as when fucking Kakuzu tells Hidan to take Yugito, right? And then you saying he just reacts to that one attack from Yugito doesn't mean anything, right? He tells Hidan because Kakuzu isn't capable of beating Yugito, right? And I'm trying to find that scan. And you said it
Okay.
was around what chapter again?
It's like 313 or 312. It's one of those. I actually do have a scan that literally says Kakuzu is stronger than Hidan, if that helps.
What scan is that?
It's when Kakashi is talking about Hidan and Kakuzu, and he just outright says Kakuzu is stronger than Hidan.
Let me find that scan. And what is it from?
It's from the fight with Kakuzu and Kakashi.
No, I'm saying like what translation is it from?
That's Viz.
Okay, I don't want Viz.
What do you want?
I want like manga C.
Manga
C uses Viz.
Okay, cool.
And you said around what chapter again? 312?
312, yeah. 312, 313, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Interesting.
Did you post the scan? Noodles.
Yeah, I have it. You said from Manga C, right?
Yeah.
All right, here you go.
These two, they're still especially the last one.
These two, they're strong, especially the one with the mask. One normally can't perform such high level jutsus unless they're okay. How is that outright saying he's stronger? He's just saying
Because
that
he specifically
are you gonna let me finish? This is when we start the A fest, right? So what I'm getting from this scan is right that Kakashi's just saying they're both strong, especially Kakuzu because he can perform high level jutsus, and Hidan on the other hand, he just uses fucking taijutsu. So he's just saying since Kakuzu can actually use high level jutsus, and Hidan, who just fucking swings his fucking axe and collects people's blood, would be more troublesome than Hidan. That's not necessarily meaning that Hidan is actually stronger than Kakuzu. It just means that Kakuzu has more access to better like jutsus and better like.
So let me respond to this now. So what he's saying is he's comparing them, right? And he's saying these two are both strong, but Kakuzu is particularly strong, right? So what he's doing is he's specifically outlining Kakuzu from Hidan to say that his strength is superlative to Hidan, or else he wouldn't even be saying that at all. Why would he even need to outlier Kakuzu's strength in comparison to Hidan? And it's not like you can say he's lower because he's saying that he's especially strong, right? So that means it's higher. And he's comparing him to Hidan. So that means he's especially strong even in comparison to Hidan.
Okay, right. After he literally says this, right, he literally explains why he's saying this, right? He's saying this because
no, they're not related.
Oh, they're definitely related, right? So what he says is, right, there are these two, they are strong, especially the one with the mask. One normally can't perform such high level jutsu unless they're compatible with one's own chakra natures, right?
So would you agree Kakuzu's jutsu are stronger?
I'm not done, Kakuzu. I mean, I'm not done, Noodles.
Yes, I am Kakuzu now. Hold on, someone changed my name.
Now, right? Kakashi's saying Kakuzu is especially strong because he shouldn't be able to use all these nature transformations, right? With fucking jutsus, right? He's not saying, oh, well, he's way more powerful than Hidan, right? He's saying this because he has access to jutsus one normally can't use, while Hidan just focuses on taijutsu, right? When we know, like, Ikosuki partners are somewhat relative to each other, right? That's why they're partners, right?
Okay, yeah, so he's saying that
basically what D1 clarified, because Noodles was, kind of trying to pull an okey-doke, in my opinion at least, and it makes sense, absolutely. So, I'm curious what Noodles is going to do as a response to that, but, it makes sense. Like, at the end of the day, he's not wrong about that. When Kakashi's kind of analyzing both of them, yada, 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 you could easily just interpret with that statement that Kakashi is saying he's stronger due to him having more access to more abilities, ninjutsu, having multiple hearts, yada yada. Like also his defense armor, he also has incredible taijutsu as well with the then the tentacles, him having a whole other transformation, yada yada. Yeah, that would make Kakuzu more of a dangerous threat, and overall, more stronger in that aspect of things. But then again, what D1 is trying to imply that, that is what basically Kakashi is implying when he says stronger wise. But then again, if Hit-On was to like get one hit on Kakuzu, okay, if he was, okay, and then utilize his ability, Kakuzu's fucked. We all saw what happened when Hit-On stabbed his heart. Kakuzu died and lost another heart. So all Hit-On will have to do is just keep stabbing him in the heart over and over, and then Kakuzu's dead. That is a win condition. You know what I mean? Overall, meaning that Hit-On would actually be stronger than Kakuzu, because overall he would win in the fight. Now, one thing I will state right now, this is just my take, if Hit-On and Kakuzu actually fought, I do personally believe Kakuzu would win that fight. That is my opinion. The main reason why is because you would have to argue and prove that Hit-On's scythe could be able to damage his armor, which I don't think he would be able to. And with Kakuzu having access to the puppets, utilizing ninjutsu and all that, yada yada, and then his transformation, I do feel like that would beat Hit-On. That's all I will say on that. But overall, what D1 is saying, that it does make sense. That makes absolutely perfect sense. So let's see what Noodles has to say, and we can go from there.
If you're just going to say it's like related to the jutsu, that just means Kakuzu's jutsu are higher level and stronger than Hit-On, which is fine.
Okay, that's fine. What you were trying to say was, oh, he's stronger than Hit-On. When that's not the case. All he's saying is that he can use jutsu that Hit-On can't, and one normally can't use these jutsus. That's what I'm saying from this.
Okay, so what I'm going to argue is that Kakuzu's jutsu are stronger than Hit-On, right? So that's fine. We can just accept that at least, and we can move from this point, yeah?
So you're saying Hit-On is stronger than Kakuzu?
No, not necessarily. You haven't provided any evidence
So
that Hit-On's physically stronger.
Do you agree that they're relative?
No.
Why don't you agree that they're relative?
Because no evidence has been provided that they're relative.
Okay, I just explained why they would be relative, right? I just explained how Kakuzu said that he couldn't kill Hit-On.
I want to
put out there, Noodles has a habit of doing that. You could literally elaborate and have a couple points, which is evidence. People do it all the time in debates. That is not irrelevant. Okay? And D1 is also sending him scans because they had pauses to where he was sending him stuff and everything. And then Noodles will still be like, oh, you haven't presented any evidence. Like, don't put words in someone's mouth, or better yet, say the person has presented evidence all because you don't agree with it. That itself is actually very agitating and disrespectful and ignorant. I can't stand it. He even did that with me at certain points. And that's why D1 now is feeling disrespected. And now he's going to have an emotional reaction or an impulsive reaction and lay it all out again for him because this guy wants to be, fucking be ignorant, So that is, I hate that shit.
So, but the fact that
just listen to it.
And Hit-On is stronger than Kakuzu.
No, not necessarily. You haven't provided any evidence that Hit-On's physically stronger.
Do you agree that they're relative?
No.
Why don't you agree that they're relative?
Because no evidence has been provided that they're relative.
Okay, I just explained why they would be relative, right? I just explained how Kakuzu said that he couldn't kill
Hit-On. I would
Hit-On.
absolutely agree that Kakuzu is relative to Hit-On, that they are to some in some degrees, absolutely. Now, if Kakuzu goes into his transformation, then no, at that point, I wouldn't say they're relative. And then the moment Kakuzu starts utilizing like his puppets and all that, and etc., then at that point I would feel like it wouldn't even matter that they're relative because he would just have more pressure and more support on his side, and Hit-On is only a taijutsu specialist with his hacks ability, while Kakuzu has many other things to get a win con. So overall, that's just that. But at the end of the day, they are relative. They are. That would be ignorant. That's like saying Kakashi and Kakuzu weren't relative. They were trading and going back and forth a lot, yada yada. One had one up, on the other, and the other did, so on and so forth. It was basically a back and forth thing. And then technically though, with Kakashi, he never even used his MS either. Kakuzu eventually does go full all out. Kakashi never does. So, but that's besides the point. And that's it.
I also brought up the fact that Kakuzu made Hit-On take out Yugito because he wasn't capable of doing it. I also brought up the fact how he can be killed, and Kakuzu stayed up saying that he can't kill him, right?
Okay, so yeah, just not being able to kill someone doesn't necessarily mean you're stronger than them, right? Think of it this way, right?
You have to be relative.
Hold on. Let me explain.
Okay,
Say we have a power lifter, right? Say he's the best power lifter on the planet. Say like Brian Shaw, he's like the world's strongest man like 5 times in a row. or we can even use the current one, Half Thor, right? Half Thor is like the strongest man in the world currently. Holds multiple records, including the deadlift record, right? If Half Thor tried to fight a boxer, right, like a heavyweight boxer, he would get knocked out. It's not due to him with a lack of power, right? It's due to the skill of the boxer, right? So just necessarily not being able to defeat someone doesn't necessarily mean you're not stronger than them, right? Like Kakuzu could easily be stronger than Hidan, but lacks the capability to deal with his immortality, right? That's a possibility we have to consider. So based on that, you cannot make the claim that he is necessarily weaker than Hidan.
Okay, do you agree Kakuzu is above Shikamaru?
Yes.
Okay, right. Shikamaru, right, who was capable of killing Hidan, right?
With
Why
prep.
couldn't Kakuzu kill him?
Because he doesn't have the preparation of Shikamaru.
He doesn't have the preparation of Shikamaru.
Yeah, Shikamaru didn't just outright beat him up.
Okay, listen. If Kakuzu, right, if you're saying Kakuzu's above him, right, Kakuzu should just outright just beat the fuck out of Hidan, right? He's capable of just beating the fuck out of Hidan.
He probably can.
Kakuzu, who was aware of Hidan's immortality, right, because they're partners, and they fought multiple people with each other, right, being present during the battle,
so I can
right?
see the direction D1 is going again, and that is an amazing point. I didn't even think of that. But that is an incredible perspective to bring up. So basically, Noodles is over here trying to establish and say that, you know, Kakuzu is obviously higher than Hidan and that he would beat him, and then X, Y, and Z of Y. And then D1's like, okay, so would you agree that Kakuzu is greater than Shikamaru? You know what I mean? And he's like, yeah. And then he's like, okay, well, you do know that Shikamaru killed Hidan or beat Hidan. Yeah, that was something Kakuzu couldn't do, so meaning therefore that wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, I could see exactly what the direction he's going. And then most importantly, what he's also trying to establish is the fact that D1 is not wrong. If anything, anyone that knows Hidan the most would be Kakuzu. They're fucking partners, for crying out loud. They're literally traveling to countries, constantly with each other, doing nothing but fights with together, so on and so forth. You know, you name it, okay? Kakuzu knows all about fucking Hidan. Yet he's gonna have a statement. Give me one sec, guys. I heard you, by the way. What's it called? I had some people come over and I was just talking and whatnot. But we're gonna get back to it. Let's get to the video and yeah.
He should know how Hidan immortality works. It doesn't take a fucking genius to know how to fucking defeat somebody with immortality, right? Because even Shikamaru figured it out with just seeing it once. Right?
Well, Shikamaru's like the smartest character in the series, so it's not really a fair comparison.
Can you not cut me off when I'm talking?
Well, you're making multiple points, so I'm going to address them by point.
They're all contingent on one point that I'm making, right?
Well, you said two things. You said Shikamaru was able to do it in just one look, right? And then you also said you have to be comparable to someone in order to kill them, right?
That's not what I'm saying. That
is what you're saying.
You're strawmanning me. I'll clarify what I'm saying.
Noodles
right?
does that as well. He always tries to fucking strong arm, and then not only that, what's it called, he'll like, when you're not even done making your argument, you know what I mean, he'll be like, oh no, you're shotgunning, or I'm trying to respond to every point you just made, and it's like, no, all these points correlate to the one point that I'm trying to explain and like drive to your fucking skull. Okay, that's what Noodles doesn't understand. I even had those type of issues with him too, you know. And then he was trying to address every single point and trying to refute every single, and it's like, no, like, whoa. First off, let me finish. And second, then finally in conclusion, say why they all connect, you know, the dots, and why it all supports the one point that I'm saying, and therefore it implies this and that. Then go ahead and refute those points, whatever, yada, yada. You know what I mean? Because he loves to do that. He will literally beat around the bush, or go do this constant back and forth. Won't even let you establish your argument or have your points. Just want to you know, go back and forth and talk about this and that. And then overall, basically what you will be doing with him is just constantly refuting his arguments, while Noodles is able to give his main points and his main arguments, because he won't even let the other person do that. I don't know why he does that, but he loves to fucking do that. So word of advice for anyone that actually tries to debate Noodles, if you start to catch that trend or see that, you need to like respond to that and address it immediately, because then there's no point of debating. Because if one person's going to provide their main points and you can't even provide any main points because you're constantly having to refute his main points, and then basically any word that comes out of your mouth, he wants to debate that, like, That's a big fucking issue. He did that with Swag. He does that with fucking everyone. You know? And at the end of the day, if that's how he debates, he might as well not even debate at all because there's no fucking point. You know what I mean? It's very, very simple. To have a very simple and concise debate, you have your main argument points. The other person has his argument points. You both should be able to explain, elaborate, and provide those points in one debate. And if not in one debate, then there has to be a second debate to finish. Because that is not fair to the other. It's just that simple. But let's continue.
So let me talk now, right? What I'm saying is Shikamaru, who just seen it once, no matter how the fuck smart he is, right, was able to figure out how to defeat somebody with immortality, right? And I'm saying Kakuzu, right, who was present during Hidan occasions with several opponents, right, wasn't able to kill him, right? He's stating that he can't kill him, but he knows of his immortality. So he should know how to kill him with his immortality because he's his partner and he's been there on several occasions with him during the battles, right?
Okay,
but Shikamaru, who saw it once, was able to kill him. And the
you're gonna
fact
need
that
to prove that
outright states that he can't kill him,
calm down,
would mean that Hidan is above him, right? And he even tells Yugito, he tells
Okay, let me
him
respond
to
now. Yeah, chill. Yeah, let me respond now.
So overall, to kind of grasp what everything's being said, so far I get all D1's perspectives. Most of Noodles' responses were pretty valid and they also made sense. But then there were some that didn't do him any good. So overall, I still feel like D1 is in the lead right now. Like if I was judging and actually points and all that, I would say D1 is still winning. But, you know, there's still plenty of time. And Noodles has plenty of time or whatever to make up and surpass and beat D1 in the debate. So it's not over yet. But regardless of that, I absolutely understand everything D1 just said. And he basically he put it all out there and bam, that's it. And I get it, you know. So now at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure the majority would say Kakuzu would be greater than Hidan, but with the points and the arguments that D1 is presenting, it is appealing and it can be believable to the audience that is hearing from this debate. It does make sense. It's not like that he's stretching. It's not like he's just making shit up or hypothetical arguments or whatever, this and that, yada, yada, yada. Like the points that he's actually making and addressing and then, you know, and then elaborating to clarify and to portray it as strong evidence and arguments, they are valid and they do make sense and they're pretty good. I'll give that to D1 so far. I'm going to be honest, it's very unique. I've never ever heard someone try to basically establish that if Hidan is greater than Kakuzu, therefore there's no way they can't beat Minato, because obviously we all know fucking Minato is greater than Hidan. If we all really think that Hidan beats Minato, I fucking give up at this point. I give up. But you know, I think that's the route he's gonna try to go. I think that's what his APC scaling is. So and it's very interesting, very unique. Generally, I feel like there's a lot more better ways or a lot more, you know, believable ways to establish your point, you know, in arguments of why Minato just drastically fucking stomps Kakuzu. But it is interesting. I like it. I like hearing. This is why I love hearing debates, because you never know what you can hear or what type of angles or what people's thought processes are. It's interesting.
You have to actually prove that Kakuzu knows about or knows how to defeat Hidan's immortality. You said because he's his partner, right? It's possible that despite being Hidan's partner, that he doesn't know how to defeat his immortality. So if that's possible, right, and your situation is possible, which I agree with, it is possible, we have to actually define evidence for which possibility is more likely. So I'm now going to ask you to present evidence to prove Kakuzu knows how to defeat Hidan's immortality.
Did you hear? That's not what I claimed. Did you hear what I said? I'll say it again.
That is what you said.
I'll say it again, right? What I said is Shikamaru, right? Who saw Kakuzu, Shikamaru, right? Who first saw Hidan, right? He seen it once and was able to figure out how to defeat him, his immortality, right? And what I'm saying, Kakuzu, who was present during Hidan, right? And seeing Hidan do that immortality jutsu several fucking times, right?
Yeah, that doesn't mean he knows how to defeat it.
Listen. Should know his ups and downs about the jutsu, right? I didn't say he did. I said he should, right? And I'm giving the evidence to prove why he should know that, right?
What evidence have you given?
Right?
Why does him being his
Are you
partner
listening?
necessarily prove that
Noodles, are you
he's
listening?
gonna go ahead and know how to defeat the
Noodles,
immortality?
are you listening?
Yeah, I'm asking. I'm furthering. You said because he's his partner, he should know. So I'm asking you to tell me why him being his partner matters.
Okay, you're not listening, right? Shikumaru,
That's literally
right?
what you said.
Shikumaru, right? Who's seen it once, was able to figure out a way how to defeat it.
Shikamaru is the
Kakuzu,
smartest
who
character in the
several-
series.
Prove that.
Okay, yeah, Shikamaru is stated to have like a fucking 400 IQ. No other character in the
Prove
series
that.
has that. Okay,
Prove
fine. I'll
that.
grab the scan.
Okay. He's asleep, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Alright. I'll keep it here, ears up.
Keep an ear out, babe.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, true writing a Bible. Holy shit.
Listen, I'm just taking some notes down.
All right, here it
It's
is.
more than just notes.
Six Pass, do you mind giving me that statement, please?
Yeah. Also, I would like to look at the statement because I'm pretty sure Kakuzu does note Hidan's mortality is the reason. But anyway, here it is.
This is back in part 1. We're talking about Shippuden right now.
Does any other character have a confirmed IQ level of this high?
Who said this? Who
Asuma
was
said
saying
it.
this? Okay, Asuma, who's not even smart himself, wouldn't
Yes,
even
he
know
is.
that.
He's
right?
an elite
All right,
Jonin.
all
How
right.
is he not smart?
Okay, do you not know that Itachi?
Okay, so I already see the direction Noodles is trying to go, and I see where kind of D1 is going. There's kind of faults on both ends, but I'm just going to make it very simple. So Noodles he's pulling an okie-doke once again, and basically what he's trying to do is be like, since Shikamaru is the only character as a kid that was established to be shown having an IQ of 400, therefore meaning no other character is as intelligent or comparable or even relative to his intellect. Which I would actually disagree on that. I think that's very ignorant to say that. All because one character has a scan that was established with that character alone doesn't mean other characters are excluded from that. Meaning, okay, if I need to elaborate on that, which I shouldn't have to, we all know how intelligent Itachi is, Minato is, Kakashi is, so on and so forth. They're very, very intelligent fucking characters, okay? Shit, if I'm gonna be really honest, you guys are probably gonna think I'm tripping or whatever, but I would actually say Itachi would be the Batman of Naruto. Meaning, in my opinion, the most intelligent technically. Because from the moment he was a fucking kid, he knew the core values and concepts of what it took to be an Hokage and understanding what a village is and so on and so forth and etc. Like, Itachi as a character from the moment he was fucking conceived was just nothing but goated. I'm not even exaggerating on that. Kishimoto portrayed this character as a fucking prodigy. Itachi was ridiculous. Okay, so that I really do disagree with. I don't know why Noodles is trying to go that route and establish that this is not anti-feat or this blah blah whatever yada yada because Shikamaru is just the smartest character, and then not only that, what's it called, like he's the only person with this that has this scan to show what his IQ is. Like, for all we know, Kakashi could be close. For all we know, Itachi could be greater. For all we know, Minato could be close or greater. Like, it doesn't fucking matter, okay? And the reason why it doesn't matter, okay, is at the end of the day, if going based on that logic from Noodles, you could easily imply that same mentality with Kakuzu. There's a lot of things that are not shown with him, okay? And all Noodles can do is just interpret, or have assumption-based arguments, you know what I mean? But not actually having something that actually either states or shows that. You know what I mean? So it's like, it doesn't fucking matter. It's very stupid, okay? And then not only that, okay, fucking, what's it called? There is many, many things out there that would actually prove to the contrary otherwise of why, in my opinion, I think Itachi would actually be smarter than Shikamaru. But once again, that's just my opinion, okay? And that'll be that and whatever. So I don't actually fully agree with that with Noodles. I think that's being very ignorant and being very biased. And being very a simple-minded mentality right there. That's very stupid. At the end of the day, people that actually, that really would be very intelligent to me are people that are very open-minded, that are able to understand things from different levels and perspectives. Okay, and if you're able to, incorporate that talent, of being able to understand things from all angles instead of just being very simple-minded or one-minded and be like, and only like direction A instead of being able to understand from direction A, B, C, and so on and so forth. That's what makes you a very dangerous, very intelligent person. Okay, Noodles, he doesn't do it all the time, but there's moments when he thinks where it's only just a direction instead of being open-minded and actually understanding from both sides and or multiple perspectives. You know what I mean? That can work for almost everything. So, but regardless, that's just that with Noodles. And then with D1, I understand what he's saying and what he's coming from. He needs to word it a lot better, in my opinion, and kind of like, elaborate just a little bit more further on it. But it makes sense what he's saying. You know what I mean? Basically what his response, he's like, well, no, like you can't say that just goes out the window or that's, like not like actual evidence to support or whatever, because we do know, X, Y, and Z, yada, yada, yada. Therefore, meaning, yada, 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 so I absolutely understand the direction D1's going. Noodles, he either does know or he just doesn't want to agree with it because obviously it would make him look less of, in the debate and so on and so forth. Whatever, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. But that's just my take on that.
Right, Itachi and Minato had the highest test scores in the academy. All right, and Six Pack's going to send me the
No,
scan.
they didn't.
And Six Pack's going to send me the scan.
They had
right?
the highest. They had the highest scores.
Are you saying Shikamaru was smarter than his dad?
Yes.
His dad, who literally planned out the whole Shinobi Alliance, basically, and Shikamaru wasn't a part of that.
Shikamaru, why does him planning out the Shinobi Alliance
Because right, if Shikamaru was the smartest motherfucker,
all he did was like, hey, we want people over
let
here.
Let me talk. Right?
Well, you haven't let me talk very much, so I don't know if I should, to be honest.
I just let you talk.
You haven't actually let me get out multiple points, though, like you are.
Quiet.
See, that's the thing about that, too. Noodles is a very one-sided person. If he's not able to provide multiple points and arguments to where it's basically him on the offense the entire debate, he starts to get pissed off and triggered. That's also another thing I've realized. This time it's actually D1 more on the offense and Noodles more on the defense. And Noodles ain't liking that. I find it very ironic because Noodles always tries to do that himself. And if he can't, then he gets a little pissy about it.
Quiet.
I think we should leave this point up to the judges.
Okay, let me say this last thing and we can leave it up to the judge, right? Okay. Basically, right? What you're saying is Shikamaru's the smartest person, right? And you're giving me a statement from fucking part 1, right? Do you agree that your intelligence can improve over time? I guess not. Anyway, right? Shikamaru, right, who was not a part of the Shinobi Alliance, right, who his dad had planned out, right, and he literally made up a plan for the whole Shinobi Alliance, and the plans went fluid, right? If Shikamaru was the smartest nigga in the village, right, they would have made him plan out the whole Shinobi Alliance, right? Because we know Shikamaru is not really that reliant in battle, right? Now, his father is smarter than him because he planned out the whole Shinobi Alliance thing, right? And he's known to be one of the smartest people in the village, right? Your statement of Shikamaru having a 200 IQ doesn't mean nothing. That was back in part 1, and that's not even clarified because Asuma thinks he has a IQ over 200. It's not proven that he has an IQ over 200. It's just stated to be by Asuma, who has no credible source in this fucking scam.
And all right, so my response to D1 basically on his whole thing that he just said. So his points are understandable and they do make sense, and to disagree and to agree. I absolutely get what he's saying, get what he's coming from. And one thing I will say though, all because Shikamaru wasn't the one put as the Shinobi Alliance doesn't mean he wouldn't be able to pull the same feats or effectiveness. And just one example to kind of put that out there, when Shikamaru's dad died, guess who actually took charge from, intellect, tactical analysis, and etc.? It was Shikamaru. So, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Like, Shikamaru is very, very, very intelligent. You know what I mean? Sure, maybe his dad is more smart or whatever. If I had to really give an answer on that, I would say yes, his dad would be more intelligent due to just having more experience. You know what I mean? But Shikamaru definitely has the capabilities and the potential to either surpass him or be on the same exact level, you know what I mean, or to be even greater. There is evidence to support that. I will say that, like for instance, like if they really wanted to just be like, all right, no, Chicago, we're gonna have you actually do this, and Shikamaru, your son will take your place because we think he'd be more than well to do what we need to do. I'm pretty sure he could have been able to pull it off, but since Shikamaru is very young, inexperienced, etc., that's why they went that route. It makes sense. Like for instance, like all because there may be a shinobi that probably be the most powerful shinobi in the village, you know what I mean, doesn't mean necessarily he will become the Hokage. There's been many points where in the show where this ninja should be the Hokage because he would technically be the strongest in his era, yet he wasn't due to this person being more suited because of X, Y, and Z. Like, there's conditions, there's variables, you know what I mean? So that's the only thing I will say on that. I get what he's saying, and I do agree with it to some extent, but there are counters to that as well. And that's what I will say. But it's good points. And then the fact that Noodles is just kind of giving up right now because he's getting aggravated or whatever because he's not basically in control right now. You know, in my opinion, that's pretty bad. But whatever. So Noodles needs to kind of pick it up.
Okay. So
I
we're
thought we
moving
were
on from
done.
that point.
Yeah, we're moving on.
Okay. Cool. So the next point I want to make is that Kakuzu is stated by Pain to not be capable of losing to neither a Biju nor Jinchuriki in the data book.
Okay, and that's contradicted when he loses to Naruto.
Hmm?
He loses to
Yeah, I'm about to
Naruto.
say, like, what?
Well, the issue is he's not losing to Jinchuriki power. He's losing to the Russian Shuriken's power.
Oh, no, it says Jinchuriki.
Well, this statement is actually made after that. So
Okay, give me the statement.
yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's made after. He still loses.
Yeah,
to Naruto.
it's not like he's losing to a Jinchuriki because of the Jinchuriki powers.
Okay,
He's
just give me
losing...
the statement.
Yeah, also, Kakuzu wouldn't have lost to Naruto had he not been saved by Kakashi and Yamato twice.
Give me the statement.
Okay, I will. And then I'll provide evidence that he would have died had it not been for Yamato
Give me
as
the
well.
statement.
I'm going to get you a bunch of evidence.
I like D1 taking authority, though. I like him. He's actually pretty cool. I like him. He's a funny guy. I don't know nothing about D1, but funny. He's a very funny guy. Good impressions that I'm getting. And one thing I want to kind of state as well, you guys are probably like, oh, this guy's a fucking Noodles hater, or blah, blah, or this and that. So obviously he's going to be more on D1, blah, blah, blah. That's not true. I already clarified this in the beginning. Whoever actually wins this debate, I will say who wins it. You know what I mean? You know, and that's it, and it's that simple. And not only that, I have seen other debates that Noodles has been in to where he absolutely dominated because of how it went and him being more on the offense as well, and etc. So no, I have seen debates where Noodles fucking did very good and won. Period. Even though it was more unlikely, like if it actually did go down, or if the majority had to say what would happen, it would be the opposite. But that's not the point. You know what I mean? There's a difference between winning the debate and then the difference between knowing the truth of Naruto and knowing actually what would go down. So, but I'm just putting that out there as well. But so far, from everything I've heard and etc., in my opinion, D1 is up in the scoreboard right now. Can Noodles still come back? Absolutely. You know, or can he tie? Whatever, sure. But so far, D1 is kind of a little bit up ahead. And he's doing very well, very well.
And Six Pass is the statement that was corroborated in fucking part 2. Not
No,
part
we already
1.
moved on from that point.
We
And
moved
that's
on.
also, that's also outside help, so you're not allowed to use that. So
How
whoever
is that
dropped
outside
that,
help?
because he didn't even use that scan. You never brought up that point. Six
Dude,
Pass
I
dropped
knew
it
of the
without
scan.
permission.
I knew of the fucking scan.
You didn't. It doesn't matter. You didn't bring it up until he dropped it.
Anyways, we're moving on. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we already
Right.
moved on from that point. Okay, so yeah, here it is.
What
There's the scan.
statement? What is this from? The data books?
Look at the bottom right. He said, with instructions.
Exactly.
No, he asked him to drop the scan of. It's not that one. He asked him to drop the scan of Hedon talking about immortality, not that.
No,
one.
I didn't. What?
Okay, well, I have a recording, so we can go back and look at it. Anyway.
The fuck?
Yeah, anyway, it's not really relevant to the point anyway. Yeah, so in this statement, it says the leader is confident that if they organize in pairs, they will lose to neither Jinchuriki nor to Biju.
Okay,
Okay.
Jinchuriki
We all know
and
at the end of the fucking day, Naruto would have fucking destroyed Kakuzu if he went into the Nine Tails. If Noodles really fucking thinks that Kakuzu could beat any fucking tailed beast, bro, this guy is fucking dumb. Like, he is just stupid, bro. Like, I didn't know it gets even worse. I didn't know Noodles thinks Kakuzu can just beat the fucking Nine Tails now. If fucking Hashirama couldn't do it with just himself, to where he had to utilize wood style to suppress the Biju and just put it to sleep because he couldn't actually kill it or beat it? You're gonna fucking tell me Kakuzu could? Or better yet, Madara couldn't fucking kill the Nine Tails and he had to use his genjutsu just to fucking tame it and control it? Like, what the... I'm sorry. I know this is kind of, irrelevant from the debate, but I don't know what the fuck Noodles will be on at times, bro. Like, that's so ignorant. Like, it's like he doesn't understand. There are actually certain data book statements that are literally, like, hyperboles. Like, over the top to over-exaggeration. Like, absolutely not even supported with all the evidence in the show. Like, he just does not understand that. Like, the way his brain works is... There could be a data book statement that could be more in his favor for a certain character he's trying to argue for, his hypothetical version of the character, technically. And he'll take that data book statement to, like, literally, logically, yet fucking there's other data book statements, and then he'll be like, oh, no, that one doesn't count. Or, no, blah, blah. Or that doesn't work because of this or that. It's like, it doesn't work like that, okay? There are data book statements that are actually supported by evidence in the show or the manga, and then there's data book statements that are completely out of the fucking world. Like, for instance, it would be so ignorant for someone to say, from the data book statement of Sasuke when he's in the fucking white robe with the, fucking all that fighting against Datara, from just him moving, the data book statement says Sasuke uses godlike speed, blah, blah, this and that, and whatever. And if someone were to use that data book statement and then try to imply, be like, oh, this is why Sasuke is faster than everyone, so meaning that he speed blitzes and dead, that is so fucking ignorant. So fucking ignorant. You get what I'm saying? So, I don't know why he does that, but whatever.
Right? So,
Yeah.
right. So what this statement is saying that he won't lose to a Jinchuriki, correct?
Nor Biju.
Nor Biju. So it doesn't matter either Jinchuriki or Biju, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what a Jinchuriki is?
It's a person who has a Biju inside of them. and
Okay,
they can use its
Naruto has a
power.
Biju inside of him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Do you agree, anyway, are you aware that Kakashi states that, like, Naruto's above him after that fight?
Yes.
Okay, right. Kakashi, like, him stating that he's above him, right? If Naruto's above Kakashi, right, and then Naruto is capable of beating the shit out of Kakuzu, right, and you're saying Kakuzu won't lose to a Jinchuriki, that would mean that he won't lose to the likes of Kakashi or Yamato either, correct?
He didn't lose to either of them. He was beating them up the entire fight.
Okay, who killed them?
Naruto did.
Okay, right. So he lost to a Jinchuriki. GG.
Yeah, but the issue is he would have beaten the Jinchuriki had it not been for Kakashi and Yamato banding
See, once
together to help
again,
him. Like
exactly what I just said. Noodles is doing it exactly what I just stated. Okay, the evidence can be right in front of him. You could literally write it on the page of a book. Okay, or better yet, Kishimoto could just show it to him. Be like, look, Naruto did beat Kakuzu. Even though there's a statement that says Kakuzu or Pain or whatever that he can't lose to any Biju or any Jinchuriki, yet he loses to Naruto. Okay, and someone can show him that, or whatever. Or better yet, someone could even show him a data book statement that Pain is the strongest member of the Akatsuki, the most powerful member. It literally states it and everything. Yet Noodles would be like, oh no, that doesn't work because this and that. Or as of now, oh no, that doesn't work because, whatever. So that's why it's not, contradicting or whatever, like it doesn't work like that. It's like, it's not a one-way street. That's what he doesn't understand. You can't just, imply that same logic for your arguments and then it works for you. Yet someone does the same thing and then you want it and then it doesn't work for them though. Like what? Like, how does that make sense? There's like I don't understand it, bro. Like there's no excuses, there's no exceptions. Stop it with the ifs, the whats, the hows, the wheres, the whys. It doesn't fucking matter. Bottom line is he lost to Naruto. He lost to base Naruto, bro. To Naruto out of all characters. Like that alone is an anti-feat. If Kakuzu is this god-tier shinobi, speed, durability, multi-continental AP, you name it, he should have been able to beat that Naruto. Because Seijima Naruto is way more fucking powerful than that version. So I just don't understand this guy, dude. Like I don't. Oh man, I'm not even in this debate, and I'm getting a little pissed off,
didn't just take a Jinchuriki to beat Kakuzu.
You'll have to prove
it took
that.
a Jinchuriki plus. Yeah, I can show you.
Prove if they weren't. Prove if they weren't there that he would have died.
No, mute him.
I'm not spurging.
Yes,
Prove that. Okay.
Darkstar, if you're not a fucking moderate, you better do it right. That's kind of what he just did. Okay, let that be the only warning then. So, anyway, I'll go grab the scan of Kakuzu beating up fucking Naruto real quick.
You know, in order to prove this, right, you will have to show me like you will have to show me a imaginary scene where Kakashi and Yamato isn't there and Naruto is just fighting him by himself.
No, I don't.
Fucking bitch.
No, I don't have to do that. All I have to show you is that Kakashi and Yamato intervened and helped. Right.
Okay, and then another thing I'm going to put out there, I already see the direction Noodles is going. That doesn't work for him, and the reason why is because even though Kakashi and Yamato were there, Naruto specifically, like, he literally states to them and says, hey, do not get involved. Let me handle this. And they're like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah, I got this. I want to fight him. I need to do this. It was more of like an obstacle for him to overcome, to prove himself. You know what I mean? You know, and for X, Y, and Z. Okay? And he fought Kakuzu on his own. Okay? He used shadow clones. I think he used 2 shadow clones the first time. Okay? Was able to use them as diversions. And would have landed a Ryzen Shuriken. Mind you, a 50% incomplete Ryzen Shuriken. Okay? Would have landed it on Kakuzu. But instead it fizzled. And the reason why it fizzled, and the reason why it was another fucking Naruto moment, because Naruto's a fucking idiot at times. He always either fucks up at the worst moments, or he does something unpredictable, or he's goated. That's generally how it goes for Naruto, okay? And literally, that happens. And the reason why it fucking happened, to be honest, was, mind you, it's 50%. It's an incomplete jutsu. He hasn't fully mastered it yet. He's been training for 3 fucking days straight. Tired, fatigued, the whole 9 yards. Even Kakuzu acknowledges that. Like, there are many variables to it, yet he's still able to pull that incredible feat of being able to fucking get behind him, okay, which is 2 shadow clones, and it fizzles. And then when Naruto, because it fizzled, okay, and he was about to get beat up or whatever, you know, from Kakuzu reacting to take advantage of him not hitting that fatal blow, I think that is when either Yamato or whatever pull Naruto away to save him. Which reminds you, Noodles is trying to use that as like to support that, oh, Kakuzu would have beat Naruto if he was by himself. Which, no, that wouldn't have happened. Because if it was actually Max Naruto fighting against Kakuzu, he would have beaten him. He absolutely would have beaten Kakuzu. Okay? The only reason why he didn't kill Kakuzu the first attack he did was because the Ryzen Shuriken fizzled and disappeared. And then after that, Naruto's like, okay, let me try again. After everyone kind of roasts him a bit, like, come on, Naruto, I thought you said you got this, you know? He's like, no, I do. Relax, sorry, you know? Does, like, what, 3 or 4 shadow clones this time to compensate for the speed and the tentacles and all that? Goes in and still gets behind Kakuzu again with the same strategy, remind you, okay, and finally hits him. I don't know why Noodles tries so hard to try to defend or explain why that's not an anti-feat for Kakuzu. It is ridiculously an anti-feat for Kakuzu. Continues to make excuses. That is not helping him, that is not supporting him. So if I was a judge, actually, that would be negative points in my fucking opinion, if it worked that way, you know?
Like, even if you want to say, like, had they not been there, Naruto still would have beat him, you would have to prove that.
Okay, so just show me what you're going to present for me.
And you could easily be able to prove that Naruto would have beat Kakuzu if they weren't there. Easily.
I would also like to point out the Akatsuki, in chapter 323, it says the Akatsuki who cannot be killed. And it's referring to Hidan.
Okay, the Akatsuki who was fucking killed. That's contradictory.
No.
I said what? Are you saying this statement is saying the Akatsuki who cannot be killed?
Yeah.
Was Kasame not killed?
The Akatsuki, as in reference to Hidan, because it's a chapter with Hidan in it.
Okay, was Hidan not killed?
No, he wasn't.
He was Kakuzu not killed?
He was.
Okay. Was Sasori not killed?
Saucer was, yeah.
Oh, was Datara not killed?
Deader was, yeah.
Okay, was Kisame not killed?
Kisame was. Yeah, all of the
Okay,
Akatsuki were
thank you.
killed except Hidan. So,
Okay, you can. Oh my god. Anyways,
Yo, if I could ever meet D1 in real life, oh man, we would have some laughs, bro. This man's funny. I get his frustration. I get his pain right now, bro. Holy fuck. Jesus Christ, Noodles. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, if Noodles doesn't come out with some wild card, like, in, you know what I mean, like, you know the game Uno? If this motherfucker don't hit a wild card and switch it up right now, you know, and start hitting with some incredible arguments or something that would even mind blow me. Even though I know for a fact Minato would absolutely stomp Kakuzu, okay? But if this motherfucker don't start spitting, we're gonna have an issue, and he loses this debate. We're at 25 minutes, almost halfway, and this motherfucker so far just sounds like an idiot. He's had a lot of decent points here and there, a lot of back and forth, made sense, you know, whatever. But, you know, D1 has like either twice or three times hit very great points. And instead of Noodles actually refuting it properly, he just wanted to say, oh no, that doesn't work. You know, and that's it. Like, he needs to fucking do something.
we already moved from that.
no, we didn't move from that. We did like move to a new point, but we didn't say we couldn't go back on it. The only point we said we weren't going back on was that point of intelligence.
I mean, we already went on a tangent about like Hidan being killed or not being killed. I thought we moved on from that. But anyway,
We did move on. We
Give
didn't
me
say
one
we
sec, guys. I'll be right back. I apologize. I gotta use the bathroom. He's showing this because this is relevant to Noodles versus D1 debate. So Noodles was trying to establish all these fucking just bullshit nonsense, you know what I mean, and just making nothing but excuses and just being really dishonest as well. So I wanted to actually show a visual, you know, example and visual representation. I didn't even say that right. Visual evidence, you know what I mean, to prove the opposite of what Noodles is saying, because what he is saying is not true at all. So we're gonna show it right here just for you guys. And then yeah, so I'm gonna take off the volume just for, you know, copyright and everything. But we're gonna go over this real quick. See, from here on, this one's mine. So right there, Kakashi looks at Naruto, realizing that he's all roughed up and fatigued, tired, you name it. And Kakashi's like, wait, did he complete it? And then Yamato's like, no, only about 50%. So this is proof that it's a 50% Raisen Shuriken, and it's incomplete, by the way. He did not even master the Raisen Shuriken. Yet it still killed Kakuzu. So we're going to skip this real quick. It's irrelevant. So that's proof that Naruto wants him by himself. So it's not like, oh, we're going to back you up as well, Naruto. You know what I mean? Never, ever was that established, or that had to happen in order for him to win or do what he did. So basically, Naruto does 2 shadow clones to be able to formulate and know how many shadow clones he needs in order to land the Raisen Shuriken. And Kakashi just basically elaborated on that a little bit further and acknowledged it as well. So Kakashi did a normal Rasengan. Naruto did a Raisen Shuriken, remind you? I'm not Raisen Shuriken, an enhanced Rasengan, you know, with nature and all that. So it's basically like a Raisen Shuriken Rasengan, the best way to describe it. And he beat Kakashi, and you saw the amount of damage he did to Kakashi. So he won that, and then it shows 4th Hokage, which is clearly indicating a comparison to the 4th Hokage. Meaning, overall, that if base Naruto, while fatigued and tired, you know what I mean, with just, you know, with the power of the Raisen Shuriken, or better yet, with just a Rasengan that has some elements that he needs in order to produce the same, you know, correlation of the Raisen Shuriken, but instead it's just a ball, you know, and not the full thing, okay, goes to show that's, you know, corresponding and or establishing a relationship to his dad, okay, meaning overall that if Naruto could beat Kakuzu, that's establishing that the level of power required to destroy Kakuzu, or well, not, I wouldn't say in order to be able to beat Kakuzu, but the power of Minato is basically would be able to easily defeat someone like that. That's really what this is showing here too. Which D1, I don't know if he ever shows that or elaborates on that, but you know, I just want to kind of put that out there. So that's that. And then another thing I want to show you guys, this is going back to the whole fatigue thing, which I'm just going to debunk it anyways, because once again, like, just, I hate dishonesty, you know, and D1 understands, but Noodles doesn't. And I want to make sure everyone knows this and understands that, you know, the bullshit that's coming out of Noodles' mouth is not true. Here, hang on. Right here. So this is proof that he is fatigued and tired. And he said he's pretty messed up already. So meaning that he's not at max, he's not at full power, that he's fatigued and tired. And now it's going to show every part of Naruto's body, clearly indicating and showing that he's fatigued and tired. Shoulder, hands, feet, like clear implications that Naruto is fatigued and tired. And even Kakuzu acknowledged it and stated that. Yet, Noodles is going to be dishonest and say that he wasn't. Like, it's hilarious how Noodles is so fucking dishonest and tries to literally lie when the evidence is there. Like, I just don't understand it. And they said, Naruto, are you okay? Because of how he looks. And then literally he just goes straight to just asking where Shikamaru blah blah and gets to the point. You know, so overall, like, and then back to, you know, the whole 50% Raisen Shuriken when Kakashi's like, did he complete it? And then Yamato's like, no. You know, so it's, you know, it's really fucking just, it's so dumb. And now we're going to get to the icing on the cake, okay? Which all of this just makes Kakuzu just look horrible. Absolutely horrible. So this is the power of the Nine-Tailed Fox Jinchuriki, a fitting Jujutsu for a monster. Yet Kakuzu can't lose to any Jinchuriki or Tail Beast, remind you. It's impossible. Data book statements are right, you know? Even though the opposite happens. Mind you, this is while Naruto's tired and fatigued. And that's the only reason why he doesn't hit him. The only reason, because it fizzled. Because, remind you, he hasn't fully mastered it yet, and he's fucking exhausted. He's been training for 3 days straight. And now this is why Kakuzu gets the edge on Naruto, because Naruto fucked up. Meaning Kakuzu would have never been able to do what he just did just now if it wasn't for Naruto missing. And he didn't miss because of Kakuzu, he missed because of his dumbass. So that's all that happens right there. So now Kakuzu forms an analysis of that whole entire situation and has a strategy in place, okay? And guess what Naruto does after this? He still does the same exact strategy and lands the same exact hit behind him again. Just making Kakuzu look really fucking bad. And he says, you believe I'm the only Shinobi that can surpass the 4th Hokage, so please believe in me, I can do this, I don't need you. And that's what he does. Meaning, implying, just with Minato's level of power, not even speed, intellect, and all that, is more than enough to beat Kakuzu. He also gained more chakra, and it's the counter Naruto's jutsu. So he's more powerful. He gave himself more chakra, his final, like, strongest form, okay? And has, like, it to change his shape to be able to counter him. And watch what happens. And if Kakuzu was so smart, I love how he just still lets Naruto do it. Oh no, you know, Naruto's done, right? Nope, instead, out of all characters, Naruto, the least most intelligent ninja. You know what I mean? Not known for intelligence, nothing for that, okay? Mainly just known for brute power and force, okay? Or never giving up and never backing down. Or better yet, talk no jutsu, okay? Naruto outsmarts Kakuzu. That is fucking sad. And you think Minato couldn't outsmart Kakuzu, even though Naruto does? Yeah. So we're going to look at that again. And he hears it. So he has plenty of time to react, remind you. Look, he's looking at Naruto. He's like, huh? He even said huh and everything. He's looking at him. Yet Naruto is fast enough to still tag him in that form. Where he had more chakra in to counter Naruto. And Naruto still lands the fucking hit. And Naruto's fatigued, tired, and been training for 3 days straight. Using nothing but chakra. And could still do 2 Rising Shurikens. Remind you, I was only 50%, level of completion. Incomplete. Look at his face. Look how fucking exhausted he is. But you're gonna tell me he's not fatigued? It's just so fucking ignorant. And then we know what happens afterwards. Basically, Kakashi shit talks him, roasts him a little bit, and he's like, that was your downfall, and explains why. So overall, that's just basically that. So now we're gonna get back, on topic with the actual video that we're watching and going over, and we'll get back to it. But I kind of really wanted to show you guys that visual, evidence. Because the shit that Noodles just says, it's so much dishonesty. And I don't know why he does that.
Hey, right. It doesn't matter. Do you know that the chakra is distributed
Tell me that he was
equally?
fatigued.
What? Can I finish, bro?
Prove he's fatigued. Just go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna prove it right now.
Just skip
Okay,
all the bullshit
right.
and show
Do
me
you
he's-
not? Do
Bullshit.
you know
You're the one bullshitting, Noodles.
that your chakra is equally distributed between the clones?
No.
You don't know that?
No, if you're talking about it's split up equally, yes.
Okay, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So now the clones, right, who has chakras split it up by Naruto, right? Do you agree the less chakra you have, the slower you move or whatever?
No, not inherently.
Why not inherently?
Okay, so someone can have a lot of chakra, right, and not be able to use the full amount of their chakra, right? Like Naruto obviously isn't able to utilize his full amount of chakra at any given time because he has so much of it. So the issue is how much you can manipulate, right? So despite having all that chakra, he has shitty chakra manipulation. So he's only able to manipulate a small amount of that. So even if he only uses a small amount of chakra, right, or even if he uses a large amount of chakra, he's only able to manipulate a set amount. So basically he could have this pool of chakra and drain a lot of it and still utilize the same set pool.
So do you agree he's losing chakra?
Yes, he is losing chakra.
Okay, so the Naruto the first time is more fatigued than the one the second time, correct? The one the second time is more fatigued than the one the first.
No, not necessarily.
Okay, what I'm saying, bro, is the Naruto who first went and attempted to kill Kakuzu the first time and failed, right? Hold on. First of all, right, the only reason why Naruto failed is because his Rasen Shuriken ran out at the last minute, right? So that it's not his fault that he actually failed, right? Because he was capable of speed blitzing Kakuzu and getting behind him, but the thing didn't hit him.
No, he just remembered. The light bulb just came into that. He's like, wait, hold on. You know what I mean? Because once again, Noodles tries to pull that shit and and deceive and be dishonest. And so now he's like, wait a minute.
The first time.
Okay,
Show me the first.
I will. But also, he didn't speed blitz him. He used shadow clones as a diversion and caught Kakuzu.
Jeez. Just lay down. I'm sorry. Just lay down, whatever, and then if you start to feel even worse, then we'll check it again. If it gets any higher, then you might have to go to the hospital. So.
Off guard.
It doesn't matter, right? So what I'm saying is that
it actually does.
It doesn't matter. That's a part of Naruto. That's a part of Naruto.
Concede that he didn't speed blitz then.
Do you know what a speed blitz is?
A speed blitz is where you're able to move so fast that the person isn't able to react to you. In any
right.
word.
Okay, Naruto was behind him before Kakuzu could react, correct?
Kakuzu wasn't even aware that he was there.
Thank you. So what's a speed blitz?
Well, actually, no, that's not correct. He was aware that he was there. He was very aware he was there. I literally just showed that. That is not true. I don't know why Noodles is saying that. And then D1 clearly needs to rewatch that whole fight as well, because clearly it's a little bit, his memory is not completely, there with it, which is why I wanted to even show it and to recap. But no, Kakuzu was aware. He was aware, and meaning overall, it would technically be a speed blitz because yes, he did 3 shadow clones as to use as a diversion to compensate for the speed, but that allowed him. Mind you, he's still moving as fast as he can, and he's still able to be fast enough to get behind Kakuzu. And Kakuzu realizes that he's behind him. He's like, huh? He's like, oh shit. And then Naruto is about to hit him, and then it fizzles. So, no, I don't know why Noodles is saying that. And then D1, he didn't remember that correctly either. But then D1's like, okay, exactly, so that's a speed blitz, which in my opinion, actually, a speed blitz would be if someone is aware of where you're coming or where you're from, but they're not fast enough to react, meaning, therefore, that would be a speed blitz. Now, if they don't know you're there, I wouldn't necessarily say that's a speed blitz because they don't know you're there, and that's more of just getting caught off guard or not even being aware that your enemy was behind you. Meaning, therefore, you can't really say that was a speed blitz because, they had no idea you were behind them. That doesn't really count. Now, if they're aware of you and they still couldn't react and you got speed blitzed, then that is a speed blitz. So...
It's not that he's not capable of reacting to his speed, because we do see him react to the speed. It's that he didn't even know he was there in the first place because he got diverted by the clone.
Okay, then it's a speed blitz.
That's not a speed blitz.
Oh my God, what is it then? If you get to a spot where I'm not able to see you, right, or know that you're there, then it's a speed blitz. No matter how I use shadow clones to fucking divert you or anything, bro. It doesn't matter.
Think about this, right? Say we're in a race, right? And we're in a fucking race, and some girl runs up to you and flashes her fucking titties at you, right? And you start looking at her, and you like slow down for whatever reason, and I start outrunning you.
That's not the case here.
Right now, Kakuzu is distracted on the titties.
That's not the case.
He's literally distracted on the titties and not paying attention to Naruto behind him.
Naruto is really trying to attack him, right? He's literally going.
I'm going to show that one more time. Fuck. I'm going to show that one more time.
Because you have the most chakra
means you can't. It went back for some reason.
Isn't able to react to you in any
right.
word.
Okay, Naruto was behind him before Kakuzu could react, correct?
Kakuzu looking at her, and you like slow down for whatever reason, and I start outrunning.
That's not the case here.
So I'm right there. But look at this real quick. Look at this is to prove the dishonesty that Noodles is doing. Kakuzu is very well aware that Naruto is there. Okay. And a speed blitz would be when the character is aware. Not when they're not aware. That doesn't make any sense. But when they're actually aware, absolutely. Speed. Look at this. He hits the first one. Hits the second one. So he hits both of them. Coming at 2 separate angles. Kakuzu's like, okay, I got this. Bam. And then... So, he's aware. Look at that. That's proof. He is aware that Naruto's behind him. He says, what? And is looking at him. And turns around. So, mind you, he turns around. He has enough time to react. But instead, he just turns around like an idiot and then gets hit by the Rising Shuriken. Well, would have gotten hit. So, no, he was very well aware. Very, very well aware. So we're going to go back to the video.
Right now, Kakuzu is distracted on the titties.
That's not the case.
He's literally distracted on the titties and not paying attention to Naruto behind him.
Naruto is really trying to attack him, right? He's literally going clones at him, and he's reacting to all of the clones,
Kakuzu's
right?
not even
So it
focusing
doesn't
on
matter.
that Naruto.
If he was fast enough, then he would be able to react to everyone who's there.
He does react to Naruto. He directly reacts to him.
You just said he didn't know that he was there.
No, we see him react to him before that, though. And then the only time Naruto's ever able to tag Kakuzu in the entire fucking series is when he specifically notes that he was distracted by the shadow clones and was not aware that Naruto was behind him.
That's so the only time that is absolutely not true, and I literally just showed it.
You have to show Naruto's even remotely relative wasn't even actually him being relative. It's just him utilizing a distraction.
Okay, let's say one more thing and let's move this point on.
Okay.
All right, right. So what I'm saying from this, right? Naruto, right, who you already agree that Kakuzu wasn't aware that he was there, right, when he tried to attack him with the Rasen Shuriken. No matter how he manipulated him or distracted him with shadow clones, it doesn't matter because Kakuzu was aware that Naruto can create shadow clones, right, and we see him reacting to all the shadow clones, right, but he doesn't react to Naruto, and he doesn't know that Naruto is there, right? So it is a speed blitz because you even know that he wasn't there. Do you know what a speed blitz is? The definition of a speed. The definition. Oh my! Can I finish? 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 Judge, can you tell him? Can I finish? Judge.
Ad nauseum. Ad nauseum. I'm not.
It's gonna be quick.
Make it one sentence then. No. If it's ad nauseum, I'm gonna fucking call it out.
See, and that's another thing that's funny about Noodles. He can repeat himself, or he can say as much as he wants, whatever, and it's fine. But let someone else do it, it's the end of the world.
You goddamn moderator, Darkstar. Stop fucking around, dude.
That's hilarious. He's arguing with the judges.
Anyway, would you serve mute him while I'm talking? Because I don't need him saying.
I'm not gonna interrupt you.
Okay, right. So, right, what he said, right, is that Kakashi and Yamato had to step in, right? When that wasn't the case, when Naruto was able to get behind Kakuzu, right, the only thing that was different is that Naruto Rasen's Shuriken ran out, right, and he didn't time it perfectly. That's the only reason why Kakashi and Yamato had to step in, because Naruto chakra had ran out on the Rasen Shuriken, but he was capable of getting behind Kakuzu and able to almost land the blow. If he would have landed the blow, Kakuzu would have just died, right? So he tried it a second time, right, and he further corroborated on the first time, and that's why he was able to hit him the second time. So that's the only reason why Kakashi and Yamato stepped in, right? So your whole statement of Kakuzu not being able to be defeated by Jinchuriki is just fucking contradicted. Now we can move on.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have another statement.
I'm gonna be honest. There are certain things that D1 said that weren't correct, but he has the same conclusion at the end of the day, and I'll just give that. So we'll just leave it at that.
Of the Akatsuki being specifically stated to be stronger than Jinchuriki. I already posted above. You can go look at it. Right above the last scan I just dropped. So
Noodles, you can send all the scans you want, data book, whatever, yada yada. Yet the evidence is there. He loses to a Jinchuriki. It's over.
You say it's now pretty consistent that he's able to beat Jinchuriki. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because Minato has no durability feats on the level of Biju. So he would be one shot by Kakuzu if he is tagged.
Can you not, like, shotgun me right now, please? Where's the scan at? I didn't get the scan yet.
Looking scans, retard.
Can you not call me a retard, please?
I mean, if you're going to be a retard, I'll call you a retard.
Okay,
don't be a retard.
That right there, bro. I'm sorry, but the moment someone comes with energy like that, it's fair game at that point. I would have went off on this motherfucker. Don't do that. Do not do that. It's so disrespectful. It's so fucking, like, that's just one example of just showing of why, like, to be at this point of why you shouldn't even debate with Noodles, because he's just an immature little fucking brat. He starts losing debate, whatever, and then he wants to get pissy and triggered and then just wants to go straight to insults. Don't fucking do that shit. Because all that's going to do is antagonize the other person and just make it worse. And then they're going to act up and get either emotional, impulsive, or whatever. Because it's either they're the bigger person, they let it go, or they retaliate. It's so ridiculous. No reason for that whatsoever. Very unprofessional, and there's no sportsmanship right now either with that. And D1 is being very professional and having very good sportsmanship and saying, can you please not do that? Please, blah, blah, saying please, okay? When he could just go straight to insults or match that same energy. So, in my opinion, once again, if I could give negative points, that would be even more negative points on Noodles. So far, D1 is winning by a lot. And at this point, I don't think Noodles is going to be able to have a comeback if he just keeps going the same route.
Retard. Darkstar shit? Honestly, you're starting to piss me off. Then be a mom, dude. Well, you fucking suck at it, dude.
And then he's arguing with the judge when he's the one in the wrong.
Nah,
Noodles, no scan. Noodles, no scan posted for me. It's just the one with Kakuzu saying, I'll rip your heart out.
I'll repost it. This one. See, it says, hardened, skillful masters, even stronger than Jinchuriki. The Akatsuki is an organization of rogue shinobi from various lands. Cool.
said stronger than Jinchuriki?
Yes.
Okay, right. We're not about to go on this point because we literally see
It's just a supporting point for the last one.
So why are we like for the so you're going back to another? We're moving.
No, I'm not
on.
going back to it.
Oh.
I was adding as supporting evidence. The point that I'm making right now is that Minato has no capability to tank an attack from a Biju, right? So obviously,
Kakuzu doesn't have that capability either. That is completely irrelevant. And technically, it is possible for Minato to be able to do that because in the Sage mode, he was able to tank a 6 paths Sage Jutsu Taijutsu kick from Jubi Madara. Okay. He tanked that shit in Sage mode. It wasn't in base, but in Sage mode. And at the end of the day, if we're seeing Kakashi, Pain, Naruto, all these other characters that somehow, some way have enough durability to take attacks from Tail Beast or so on and so forth, you're gonna tell me Minato couldn't be able to? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, does this guy not understand that you can actually initiate a certain amount of chakra to increase your durability and speed and strength and jutsu and etc.? Chakra is something you can literally utilize as a tool to make yourself more powerful? Is he not aware of that? All because a character doesn't have a shit ton of durability feats doesn't mean that they won't have those durability feats. That is so stupid and ignorant. That makes no sense. Because if we're really being honest then, Kakuzu doesn't have any durability feats like that either. Instead, all the times we see him get hit, he gets fucked from Raikiri, he gets fucked from Raisen Shuriken. Okay? So like, I don't understand. You know? It doesn't matter. That's an irrelevant factor.
Kakuzu is stronger, then he would also be able to one-shot Minato.
Hell no.
Is this your only scaling for Kakuzu?
This is the only scale I will be using in the debate.
Okay, thank you. Now I
At
can
least,
go
at least
to
for
my...
attack potency.
Okay, are you aware of Toby Rama stating that Minato FTG is faster than is superior to Toby Rama's?
Yeah, that doesn't mean it's faster. That just means it's superior. Could be superior in that.
So what do you think he mean by superior?
Chakra conservation.
You said what?
Chakra conservation.
Where the fuck does he get chakra conservation? What? Okay. Sure. Sure. I hope D1 delivers on that. Please refute that.
So you're saying Minato has more chakra than fucking
No, I'm
Tobirama?
saying no, fucking idiot. I'm saying if he's like using the chakra more efficiently
Again,
in
the
his
insults.
juice.
Why does chakra matters in the Flying Thunder God, right?
Because
Do you
that's
know
an
the
aspect
reason
of the
why he
jutsu?
says this? The reason why he says this is because Minato gets to the battlefield before them, and then Tobirama says, "Oh, Fort Hokage, your Flying Thunder God is more superior than mine."
No, he
right?
doesn't say that. He says
Then what does he
says
say?
Shushin, which doesn't translate the Flying Thunder God. It translates the Body Flicker, which is a different technique that revolves around movement speed.
Okay, right. So
Okay,
he's
actually, well, from the anime, I don't know what the manga says, but in the anime, he says, wow, your teleportation is better than mine. Okay? Regardless of whatever you want to interpret, whether if it's either the Flying Raijin or Body Flick or whatever, it doesn't fucking matter because at the end of the day, it is clear enough that he is faster than Tobirama with that speed. And on top of that, okay, if he's faster, it's just that. Okay? Like, it doesn't fucking matter.
それを否定するのが今のお前でも
It's right here. Watch this. Watch this. And mind you, look at the kunai.
それを否定するのが今のお前で
See
も
the kunai? Right there. The kunai was thrown and he teleports to it.
遅かった
Yet it's
か
not Flying Thunder God.
いやぴったり
But
だぜ
it doesn't even have to be Flying Thunder God in order for the point to be proven. It doesn't even have to.
誰の
俺は波風湊爆発に備えて
Teleports the 10 tails tail beast bomb, which is insane.
何
10尾の攻撃を海へ飛ばしたからだよ
もういきなりあさっての方向から衝撃波こんなのあり
文句言うねこんなもんで済んでラッキーだぜ
江戸天聖の目。あなたは。
安心して、君たちの味方だよ。ナルトを回復してくれてありがとう。
この分は
柔らかに
チャクラを。
Look, and then here's it says, Minato, you're as fast as ever.
相変わらず早いの。
三代目ホカゲ様。それにこれって。
四代目。貴様は
You're better at teleporting than I am. Okay, so that's all we're going to show there. So therefore, overall, basically what happens, Minato's the first one to get there on the battlefield, okay? Gets there first, right? And when he gets there first, okay, he teleports the Ten Tails Beast Bomb away, okay? Does all his markers, throws all his shurikens, has a conversation with Naruto and Sakura, and then Hiruzen gets there, compliments him and says, you're as fast as ever. Then Tobirama gets there and he's like, Minato, you're even faster than me at teleporting, okay? And then the first Hokage gets there right after, you know, and then he's like, all right, let's do this. So, meaning, therefore, Noodles is once again being dishonest and he is not saying the truth. He is wrong. There's a lot more evidence to actually support that it's Flying Thunder God, but even if, let's say, you want to whatever, that doesn't fucking matter. At the end of the day, he's still faster, okay? Body flicker is just another way of using a lot of fucking, you know, basically utilizing speed, okay, to where it looks like you're fucking teleporting. Or better yet, Shishui perfected it to perfection to where he was creating after images because of how fast he was moving with body flicker, okay? It doesn't fucking matter, okay? The only time we actually know for a fact that Minato did body flicker, which basically looked like the same exact level of speed as Flying Thunder God, was when Obito threw the infant baby Naruto in the air and went to go stab him, and he had no markers, no kunai, and was able to fucking move and basically look like he teleported and grabbed Naruto. And then when he saw the paper bombs on Naruto, then he used Flying Raijin, where literally it shows time slowing down, space and time itself slowing down, while he can move at full speed, teleports out of it, and jumps away from the explosion. And then says, wow, he forced me to use Flying Raijin as well. So, overall, no.
We actually see Casey to Minato get blitzed by Jubito, and that same Tobirama is able to react and blitz
we see Jubito being blitzed by Tobirama as well.
No, yeah, so Tobirama's faster than Jubito, and Jubito's faster than Casey.
What I said was we see Tobirama being blitzed by Jubito as well.
I can show you a scan right now of Tobirama blitzing Jubito on 3 separate occasions.
Tobirama never blitzes Jubito, by the way.
You don't want to go down this argument. Like, this is one of the...
Listen, give me the scan.
Okay, sure.
Oh my god, now it's going to fucking Tobirama. Yeah, I'm sorry, Noodles, he unfortunately did not go the right direction. He's not providing anything. And nothing is really correlating to why he's...
First one where Tobirama plays like...
even right or something to stand out in his line of defense. He's, at this rate, he's most definitely losing this debate. He has to really pull something out of his ass to come up top. So far, incredible. Good job, D1. You did very good.
8 tags on him. Here's a second one where he managed to where he allowed Naruto to hit Jubito. He like grabs him and tags him.
Noodles, only one of the scans posted so far, in case you missed it.
Exactly. He's so fucking stupid.
And then here's the third one. That wasn't me saying it's stupid. Where he's able to, again, teleport and grab Jubito before he's able to react. There's actually a fourth situation as well. I just don't have it on hand.
Okay, right. This doesn't even fucking matter at all. Like, we literally see Tobirama. We literally see Tobirama stating himself that his Flying Thunder God is superior. Right, that's all I really need, right? And then we see Minato, like when he first gets to the fucking battlefield, we literally see him like teleports a tail beast bomb away.
That's not impressive even remotely. Nor does it
What you mean that's not impressive? What you mean that is impressive? I'm saying this Minato. Are you gonna let me finish my point, right? This Minato.
You asked me a question, bitch. You want me to fucking answer or not?
Listen up, you little Cheerio eating bitch. What the?
Yo, okay. Hey, I'm sorry. D1 had so much patience. he had so much patience. He was being so professional, so nice, so much incredible sportsmanship. You know what I mean? Saying please, asking Noodles, please, can you not do that? Please, can you? You know what I mean? Like when Noodles was insulting him and being very unprofessional, unsportsmanship. Okay, and now he finally just broke. And I don't blame him. I don't fucking if that was me, I would have did the same exact thing, or better yet, it would have been a lot quicker than that. Holy fuck, D1's about to have me in tears, bro. Let's rewind that a little bit back. Oh, that was Noodles' fault. D1 is he has every right.
Even remotely, nor does it
What you mean that's not impressive? What you mean that is impressive? I'm saying this Minato. No, are you gonna let me finish my point, right? This Minato.
You asked me a question, bitch. You want me to fucking answer or not?
Listen up, you little Cheerio eating bitch. What the fuck is wrong with you? You fucking stupid bitch.
Yo, oh, they muted D1. So I love how they'll let Noodles curse and insult and you name it, yet D1 finally loses his mind. Finally, which reminds you, Noodles has been doing this the entire debate. D1 finally does, and they mute him. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Wow.
Yo, that wasn't even D1's fault.
That's not my fault. If he's gonna ask me a question, then immediately interrupt me, and I get pissed off about that, that's his fault.
No, that's not how that works. Okay, so literally, basically, he basically asked a rhetorical question, meaning like to not answer it, to establish the point he's about to make. So never does he like ask a question. He's like, all right, please answer. Instead, he asks a question and then continues on, and then Noodles interrupts him. Okay, and then he's like, can you please let me finish and make my point? So no, that is Noodles' fault. It's not D1's. That is Noodles' fault.
My fault. Don't pretend like that's my fucking fault.
He don't have to call me a bitch. When he called me a bitch, bro, that triggers me. I don't care.
Be a bitch. Not even spurging. That's a reasonable thing to say. You're saying spurg back.
Okay, right. So Noodles. Is this the only? Are you done? Like, are you done? Like your whole scaling, basically.
Well, I'm gonna say this: Kakuzu is so durable that Minato has no attack potency feats to be able to affect Kakuzu, because obviously the Newton's third law. In order for Kakuzu to generate the amount of force that he does, he would have to withstand a comparable amount of energy, or his body would be torn apart from the sheer counter force.
Okay. Do you agree that Minato's faster than Kakuzu?
No, you haven't provided any evidence of that.
Okay, I provided evidence that Minato will be above Naruto in speed, right? Because Naruto doesn't be compared to Minato until he reacts to the fourth Hokage, right? When Naruto uses body flicker, right? And then he compares himself in speed with Minato, right? While he was a Jonin, not even Hokage Minato, right? So I can even argue that Minato probably even got even faster, right? Because he was just a Jonin, right? Okay. That was before he became Hokage, right? So this KCM1 Naruto, who will be faster than the one who fought Kakuzu, right, gets compared to this Jonin Minato, right, who I'm using as Hokage Minato. So this Hokage Minato will be above Naruto, who was capable of being able to react to Kakuzu and being able to shoot.
Let me respond. Mute him.
Okay.
Okay, so when you say KCM Naruto is faster than the one that fought Kakuzu, I addressed this argument earlier by saying that Naruto doesn't scale to Kakuzu in speed, because the only situation where he tags Kakuzu and is a situation where he got caught off guard.
So far, every point D1 made beforehand was absolutely acceptable and absolutely okay. He like the direction he was going, and I wish they were able to allow him to have a conclusion on that, because that would have just been the end of that discussion. It would have been just that simple. There's no even reason for Noodles to respond, nothing, yada yada. If he really wants to, then he can wait. But that's all I'll say on that. So far, this is just very stupid. Very, very fucking stupid. And I really do feel bad for D1, because this is very, very unprofessional for him.
Situation I showed earlier, Kakuzu specifically grabbed Naruto with his threads. He's not able to react. And also, KCM Naruto was too slow for Yugito during the war arc, the same Yugito that fucking Kakuzu was able to react to. So Kakuzu is not only faster than KCM Naruto, who is equivalent to Minato, or faster than Minato, depending on how you scale KCM Naruto. Okay. This would mean Kakuzu scales above Minato in speed, attack potency, and durability.
Okay, right. I already just scaled Minato higher, right? And based off that, Minato would just speed blitz fucking Kakuzu and fucking cut every fucking single neck out his neck and his fucking hearts, right? So we can like conclude now. You
I
can
think
conclude.
I think those are good conclusions. I think we're good.
Yeah, I think you can conclude. Go ahead.
No, I think we just did it basically. I mean, we
Oh
basically
no,
just.
no, no, no. I'm not. That wasn't my conclusion. You can conclude since I opened.
Okay. All right, so I guess I'll go through each point then. So to begin with the speed argument, Kakuzu was demonstrated to be on the level of Yugito. Yugito, as I stated just a second ago, was capable of reacting or was capable of being faster than Casey.
One sec, guys. You have your water. Okay.
Naruto, who he agrees or who he didn't dispute, was on the level of Minato. This would mean that Kakuzu scales above a character who scales above Minato.
And one thing I will say on that, what's it called? Yukito is actually not faster than KCM1 Naruto. So there's a couple of reasons with that, and I'm not going to even show it visually wise. I'm not even going to go that far. I did it with everything else, but I'm not going to do that. This should be more of a reaction to the debate instead of me just providing the evidence to show why Noodles is being dishonest and stupid. But regardless, okay, just one thing. First off, it was Obito there with the Rinnegan and the Sharingan, and all the other tail beast Jinchurikis with the Rinnegan and the Sharingan, which we all know that alone is boosting their perception to analyze and so on and so forth and etc. Okay, and then also Obito is controlling them with chakra rods, meaning that he is emitting chakra to them, which can increase their speed and so on and so forth, etc., to make him either relative or whatever, so on and so forth. Okay, and on top of that, Naruto, all because he's in KCM doesn't mean he's utilizing his teleportation speed all the time. There is many times where he literally overshoots his teleportation speed, okay, or better yet, he's not using it. He is not using it 24/7. There is many times where it heavily emphasizes when he actually does use his teleportation speed. And the reason why that is, it makes sense and is consistent and so on and so forth, because not only is evidence in the anime and the manga, okay, but he just required that form, KCM1. So, and not only that, the Nine Tails was also fucking with him the whole time, trying to, have a tug of war and mess around with him as well, okay? And he hasn't fully mastered KCM1 either, and he goes straight into the war. Okay, so overall, like he's not utilizing that teleportation level of speed, which is being a comparison to Yellow Flash, not Fourth Hokage, the Yellow Flash. Okay, and on top of that, okay, overall that's just KCM1. Then you have KCM2 that is on par and being compared to Fourth Hokage Minato. Okay, so overall, like it's fucking stupid. It's really stupid. That's the only thing I'll basically say on that. And Yukito was only able to even fight against Naruto due to having not only backup and support with other Jinchurikis utilizing their tail beast abilities. You know what I mean? The Rinnegan, the Sharingan, and Obito being there as well. And I think it was the 8 tails in Killer Bee that says their ocular prowess is enhancing their Jinchuriki abilities as well, and combining that is allowing them to be more of a threat and dangerous to fight us. Because at the end of the day, we all know, okay, Killer Bee would fucking shit on Yukito, or that Naruto with KCM 1 and 2 would shit on her as well. Okay, like it's so fucking dumb, so dumb. So I'm not even, that's just incredible that now apparently Yukito, the 2 tails, is more powerful than Naruto and the 9 tails as well. Like, sure.
It means Kakuzu's faster than Minato. And I also scaled Kakuzu's AP above Minato because I scaled him stronger than Jinchuriki. I also stated that these same Jinchuriki were able to one-shot Minato. He never provided any refutation to that other than saying that Kakuzu wasn't truly stronger than Jinchuriki. That argument in particular, he said, wasn't stronger than Jinchuriki because Kakuzu wasn't able to defeat Naruto. But the fact is, it wasn't just Naruto by himself. It was Naruto, Yamato,
That's another
Kakashi.
thing Noodles is doing. He's putting a lot of words in D1's mouth, and he's putting a lot of dishonesty right now. That is not okay. That is not acceptable. Like, now the man's just making up shit. I can't wait for D1's response, though.
And Choji and Ino all together fighting Kakuzu. It wasn't like it was just Naruto at one point. So
Please don't say things you didn't say during the debate.
I did say this.
You did not, but go ahead.
Yeah, I did say that. Anyway, so Kakuzu is able to also kill Naruto, as shown by the scan I posted. He was able to grab Naruto and would have killed him had it not been for Kakashi intervening. And I also brought up the Yamato feat where he was able to, Yamato saved him as well. So there's two situations where Kakuzu could have killed Naruto had it not been for intervention.
It was literally only one situation. And once again, D1 also did refute that, and he responded perfectly. Basically, all that happens is Naruto beats Kakuzu and gets behind him and is about to hit him with the Rising Shuriken, and that would have been the end of the battle the first time. And it fizzles out, you know what I mean, and so on and so forth. And then Kakuzu's like, all right, bet, now there's an opening, takes advantage of that, exploits it, and then Kakashi and Yamato had to get involved to make sure Naruto doesn't die. Okay? That's all that was. Kakuzu would have never been able to do anything if the Rising Shuriken didn't fizzle. So, meaning all of that goes down the drain, and that doesn't matter. Okay? And that was only once. Not twice, but once.
So, D1's only refutation to Kakuzu being stronger than Jinchuriki was that he wasn't able to defeat a Jinchuriki, but it wasn't just a Jinchuriki, it was the Jinchuriki with help, basically. And also, he never provided any attack potency for Minato, so Minato's not going to be able to hurt Kakuzu at all during this fight. And based upon those three reasons, Kakuzu kills Minato in one shot, Minato can't hurt Kakuzu, and Kakuzu's faster than Minato. I think I won.
Okay, right. I believe I won because I debunked every single thing Noodles said, right? So let me start off with the scans that he sent first, right? I think the first point he brought up is about, I first brought up the statement about, like, Kakuzu stating that he can't kill Hidan, right? And then my opponent says, he can't kill Hidan based off his immortality, right? And then I brought up the fact that Shikamaru, right, who first seen Hidan one time, was capable of defeating him while he has his immortality, right? And then I says Kakuzu, right, who should be aware and know the ups and downs about Hidan's immortality, right, should be able to know a way to defeat him. But since that's not the case, and Kakuzu states that he cannot defeat him, that would just put Hidan above Kakuzu, right? I also brought the fact that Hidan says that he's the slowest member in the Akatsuki, right? So that will put Kakuzu relative to Hidan, which would mean that Kakuzu has somewhat a sort type of speed to Hidan, right? I also brought up the fact how Naruto, right, was capable of getting behind Kakuzu, right? And my opponent even agreed that Naruto was capable of getting behind him without Kakuzu noticing, right? My opponents also brought up the fact that he used shadow clones, right? I said that doesn't matter, right? Because Kakuzu, we do see him being capable of reacting to all the shadow clones, right? The fact that he wasn't able to see that Naruto means that he got speed blitz, right? And I asked my opponent, do he know the definition of speed blitz? He says yes. Hitting someone not knowing that they're there, right? And Naruto was there, right? But he just wasn't capable of hitting him with the Rasen Shuriken, right? Because the Rasen Shuriken chakra had ran out, right? So Naruto did show capabilities of being able to kill Kakuzu, right? And the only reason why Kakashi and Yamato intervened is because Naruto's chakra ran out the Rasen Shuriken, right? And he pulled them away, right? And this was further corroborated the second time when Naruto tries again and he's able to defeat Kakuzu, right? So his whole statement about Kakuzu not being able to be killed by Jinchuriki or Jubi will be contradicted, right? He also brought up the fact how, like, the Akatsuki members
Let him know, D1. Let him know, D1. Keep spitting facts. God damn, he's getting his ass.
Then the Jinchuriki, right? Well, they can't be killed or whatever, right? And I literally lay out and asked him, right? Was Sasori killed? He said yes, he was killed. I also asked him, was Kakuzu killed? He said yes, he was killed. I said, was Deidara killed? I said yes, he was killed. So basically, all these Akatsuki members was killed, right? So that was just contradicted statement that he resented again, right? Another statement that he brought up, right? Let's see. Oh, right. He brought up the fact that he stated that Shikamaru was the smartest member, like, smartest nigga in the village, right? And then he showed me a scan from part 1, right? And then I asked 6 pass for his scans, right? Which was further corroborated in part 2, which disproves that Also stating that his father was the smartest, right? Because his father is the one who planned out like the whole Shinobi alliance, right? And shelled out like these members here, right? These members there, right? He just sorted out the whole plan, right? And we seen that some of his plans, right, did run out smoothly. The fact that Shikamaru was not a part of that investigation and planning out the Shinobi alliance, which would shows that Shikamaru intellect would not be on par with his father's, right? We see that Shikamaru's like shows no type of like reliance or anything being capable of like doing anything like during the war, right? And like battle and as far as battle, right? So that would just like put his father above him, right? In IQ, right? Also, oh, he bring up the statement about Kakashi saying that Kakuzu is stronger, right? I literally says Kakashi literally furthers like corroborates on that and says the only reason why he thinks that Kakuzu is stronger is he basing it off of jutsus because he literally sees like people can't use these jutsus, right? And we see that Kakuzu can like use all 5 nature transformations due to the like the hearts he stole, right? And Kakashi only says this is because he sees these jutsus and he's saying that one usually can't use these jutsus, right? And the reason why he's saying he's especially stronger because he sees just Hidan just using taijutsu. Right, and taijutsu is like the most like basic form of like being a ninja, right? That's like what they first learn is like taijutsu, basically, right? And right, so that would just put Hidan right above Kakuzu as well, right? Also, Noodles, you got slapped, bro. I debunked everything. What else?
Is that it, D1?
No, it's not it. I need to show my scaling for my character as well.
Jesus
Right?
Christ,
So I
dude.
scale my character. I scale. It's not my fault, Noodle, that I debunked everything you said.
Bro, you just
right?
Guys,
Okay,
hold on.
No,
Noodles,
let me
let him
finish.
Noodles, let him finish.
Let me
Noodles,
finish.
just take me to during his
Let me finish. Let me
Let him
finish.
go.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Yeah, D1, he's muted. Go.
All right. So I scaled my character higher than his, right? I scaled.
That was
Kakuzu to
absolutely
Naruto,
necessary
right?
too. Thank you, because I'm sorry. Noodles came out with the disrespect first with the unprofessionalism, so he has every right and it is very warranted with what he's doing right now. Noodles was the one being disrespectful, so he has every right.
Naruto was able to defeat him, right? And then I scaled KCM1 Naruto above that Naruto, that fourth Kakuzu, right? I also brought up the fact that the fourth Raikage compares KCM1 Naruto to Minato, to a Jonin Minato, right? And I'm using Hokage Minato, which Hokage Minato would be faster than a Jonin Minato, right? So Hokage Minato above Kakuzu, because Kakuzu scales to a base Naruto, right? So Minato above that base Naruto would be above Kakuzu, and that Kakuzu would just get speed blitzed by Minato, and Minato would just fucking cut his neck off and just slice all the fucking heart, basically. So, right, that's it. But further.
So you fully finished now?
Yeah, I'm finished. True.
Okay, so I want everyone to mute while I go through, because I took notes during this debate. I'm gonna go through my judgments for pretty much all the points from the debate.
One thing I will say, I will be the first one to say the judge is doing some bullshit. Like, if you're gonna be a judge, you need to really fucking be a judge. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna be honest, there's a lot of one-sided judges out there. There's a lot of favoritism, equity issues, you name it, and that's not okay. And there should be 3 judges. There should be one random judge that doesn't know either one of them. There should be one judge that is more affiliated, with Noodles, and one that is more affiliated with D1. And overall, that's how it should be. And they should judge the debate, despite their friendship, despite anything else, so on and so forth. And obviously, the third random judge would be the main deciding factor, too. So that's how it should be orchestrated. But for some reason, it's never like that. I don't know why.
I'll serve him D1 and Noodles if that's fine then, true?
Sure, yeah. So I'm just gonna go through. So we start off with, they both agree that Hidan was the slowest, and then now we're going through the Hidan and Kakuzu scaling. D1's initial point was that Kakuzu told Hidan to fight Yugito because he couldn't, but he didn't bring any evidence for that point, right? And then Noodles later on brought evidence of Kakuzu being able to both react and tank Yugito's attack, based on like the scan that he posted, right? Him catching the fist. So and then we move on to the we move on to the point of he can't kill Hidan, right? That was a huge point of the argument.
What did this judge just say?
And both react and tank Yugito's attack, but he didn't bring any evidence for that point.
He did bring plenty of evidence.
I'm just gonna go through. So we start off with they both
I know my memory shit, but he elaborated a lot and provided many points. What?
that Hidan was the slowest, and then now it's got to go. Now we're going through the Hidan and Kakuzu scaling. D1's initial point was that Kakuzu told Hidan to fight Yugito because he couldn't, but he didn't bring any evidence for that point, right? And then Noodles later on brought
the statement was the evidence. Like, it's in the anime and it's in the manga. What do you mean? It's a statement. That is a form of evidence. Now, I would have to obviously go back, to see if he collaborated or elaborated a lot further on that and provided even more, but which I'm pretty sure he did. But regardless, like, I would not agree with that. Absolutely not. He definitely did provide evidence. I don't know why he's saying only Noodles provided evidence. That is not true.
Evidence of Kakuzu being able to both react and tank Yugito's attack, based on like the scan that he posted, right? Him catching the fist.
And another thing too, which the judge is also not getting, there's no proof for Kakuzu tanked the attack. All it shows is his arm getting smashed, and he gets smashed into the ground deep below, and then it does a time skip. You cannot prove what amount of damage he did, whether if he lost a heart, if it was a scrape, if his arm got flung off as well, and then he just reattached it. We don't know. But what we do know is he gets slammed into the ground and overpowered. Yeah, he reacted, sure, but you cannot say that he tanked it and that Noodles provided that no, there's no evidence. Doesn't make any sense.
Then we move on to the we move on to the point of he can't kill Hidan, right? That was a huge point in the argument, and Noodles countered the point by saying, sure, just because you're stronger than someone doesn't necessarily mean you are able to defeat them. And he gave the example of the world's strongest man and the boxer, because there might be certain techniques that he doesn't have that doesn't allow him to kill him, right? And then he also brought up the fact that Shikamaru was intelligent, so Shikamaru was able to figure out a way to defeat the immortality, while Kakuzu couldn't. But then D1 countered saying that he's his partner. He's his partner, so he should know. But the Noodles asked him why, and D1 didn't have like a refutation or an answer to why he should know just because he's his partner. So we move on to the Jinchuriki point, right? Noodles
that doesn't make any sense, and he literally just contradicted himself. That the evidence is already there and to be even supported. What? Like, does he need to show every fucking manga panel of all their fights together and so on? Like it's not fucking rocket science. Like, what is... Bro, is this judge high as fuck? Is he on crack right now? Because all I'm feeling right now is just slurping up ramen noodles. Once again, like, I hope he's not the only judge, because if he is, then we clearly know who's going to win it at this point, which is blatantly not true. Like, if we all truly think Noodles won this debate, that is really fucking sad.
The Katsuki should all be able to take down Jinchuriki, and based on the statement, and then D1 counters with, well, now to beat him, and is able to speed blitz him. But he defines speed blitz as just being able to attack them without noticing, while Noodle says, well, there's context to it. Well, if you're distracted, if I'm not looking somewhere and there's someone comes up behind me, it's not a speed blitz, it's just I didn't notice them. So this would not counteract the evidence of Naruto being of him being able to be a Jinchuriki, because Noodles also states he got help from multiple other people, and he was able to, in fact, almost kill Naruto twice, but the other people saved him. So this would actually support Noodles' statements of Jinchuriki.
It was only once. This judge clearly did not watch Naruto. He was only able to kill him once. What are you talking about? Like, you can just taste the semen off his lips from Noodles' dick. What are you talking about? What kind of judge is this? Are you kidding me right? Like, is this... Are we really, like... Holy fuck, I knew there was a lot of corruption in the world, period. You name it, but, like... Fuck, I guess it's just in everything,
Being about the Jinchuriki. Okay, so... then... smartest talk... So okay, we can move on to Naruto to the war.
If he says one more dumb thing, I'm just gonna skip forward.
he scales his character to Yugito, where he says he can react and tank things from Yugito, while a faster Naruto was unable to. He says KCM Naruto was unable to react to Yugito or keep up with her, and then obviously Kakuzu could. So this would scale Kakuzu above KCM Naruto,
No.
right? And this KCM Naruto would scale above.
No, I'm not. Is this it?
Better form of.
Is that it?
Every single point. And D1 didn't have any scaling for his character. There we go. That's my judgment. Everyone can now spurg out.
Yeah, that was a horrible judge as well. Okay, so final thoughts and impressions so far. What I will say is it was an interesting debate, some entertainment towards the end as well, which was very warranted. I absolutely understand why he snapped. So it was a good debate. I liked it overall. But at the end of the day, what's it called? From just hearing that entire debate and actually analyzing it and so on and so forth, D1 definitely won that debate. There is no ifs or buts about it. Like, once again, I don't even know who D1 is. I'm more affiliated and know Noodles because of my personal experiences. You know what I mean? And then seeing some of his videos, I have no idea who D1 is. And I made this like clarification in the beginning. I don't care about me knowing who. I don't care about who I like more, whatever. That is all irrelevant. Based on the debate alone, that would determine, you know what I mean, of who actually won it. And then I will also give my thoughts of who would actually win in the fight as well. So, and from hearing everything, D1 definitely takes it. I don't know. That was very, very strictly and hilariously and obviously one-sided. So, yeah, that's really weird. And then on top of that, what's it called? That's just basically it. Now, did Noodles did horrible? No, like there was some points that he had, that were good, or basically relative to the points that D1 made. A little bit of back and forth, whatever. But then there was just parts of the debate where D1 was just heavily having incredible points. You know what I mean? An incredible perspective that he was putting on the table. And instead of Noodles like trying to refute it the correct way or provide the evidence or whatever, he was just basically he was just saying throughout it like, oh no, that's not the case, absolutely not, and then just give a little bit of tiny bit of an explanation, and then that was it. So overall, and then it just kind of went further in front of that route, and it just got more and more worse for Noodles. And then Noodles started being unprofessional and having no sportsmanship and etc. Constantly antagonizing and insulting D1 and so on and so forth, while D1 is saying, please, can you not insult me, blah, blah, being very professional, having sportsmanship, you name it. Okay, all that stuff. And then overall, then eventually D1 snaps and goes off on him. And then they mute D1, but yet they don't mute Noodles or tell Noodles to stop. And you're going to tell me this isn't a fucking, corrupted debate? What the fuck, So that's my take on the whole debate overall. You guys can put whatever in the comments down below, whatever you think. But regardless of that, as for my thoughts of who would actually really win in this fight, despite the debate of everything I just heard, it would definitely be hands down Minato. He's just more powerful. He's more intelligent. His attacks would be powerful enough to one-shot Kakuzu. Or better yet, what's it called? Kakuzu, you know what I mean? The only way you can really establish that he has any form of defense or durability would be his armor. You know what I mean? His diamond armor, which we've seen lightning be able to destroy it. You know what I mean? And overall, with enough AP, he would just get bodied. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you have enough power in your attack, he would get fucked. So, he's not invincible. He doesn't have fucking the god tier fucking durability where nothing can hurt him. That has never been established, and that is why he lost to Naruto. And KCM is way more powerful than base Naruto as well. So, but overall, like, Minato would definitely stomp due to speed, due to AP, due to intelligence and all that. Like, overall, like, you guys got to remember, Kakuzu lost to a Naruto that doesn't have Sage Mode, doesn't have KCM, okay, doesn't even have KCM2 or KCM2 with Sage Mode. There are variations of Naruto, and Naruto continues to gradually get more powerful, more and more and more throughout the series, okay? This Naruto in the Kakuzu arc is very, very much weaker than KCM Naruto or KCM2 Naruto or Sagemo Naruto. It is so ignorant to say to someone that this is not an anti-feat, or better yet, this doesn't establish proper scaling. It does. It's very obvious. Okay, Sagemo Naruto and KCM Naruto is way more powerful than base fucking Naruto with a Rising Shuriken that's at 50% and incomplete, and he can only hit the person by actually tagging them with it, and he can't throw it or nothing. You know, can't expand it, nothing. He has to literally touch you with it. So overall, like, Kakuzu loses to this Naruto, and remind you, was fatigued and tired and exhausted, and got tagged twice. Twice he got tagged. Okay. So, there's no confusion, there's no explanation, there's no excuse, there's no refutation, there's no nothing to support the fact that Kakuzu, this hypothetical Kakuzu, is somehow, some way KCM2 Naruto or KCM1 Naruto or Sagemo Naruto now in power, or better yet up in scaling with Pain or Minato or Itachi or fucking Madara or like, you know, it is so fucking dishonest. I don't know why this is even a fucking thing, but this hypothetical Kakuzu shit is just it is incredible, blows my mind. But yeah, and that's just a general understanding of that. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this can be for any ramen fucking pack supporters. This can be for Noodles himself. I don't care. I will debate anyone on this, and you have an hour to try to convince me. And if you can't, I don't give a fuck. And I will also embarrass you in that recording and debunk every single stupid nonsense that you have and make you look like a dumb bitch in the Naruto community. It's that fucking simple. Minato stomps, Pain stomps. There's a lot of characters that stomp Kakuzu. For God fucking sake, Kakashi beats Kakuzu. Yes, if you guys can't hear me, Kakashi beats Kakuzu. It's done. It's over. Batman out. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed the reaction in the video. Comment your thoughts down below. Just overall anything in particular. Subscribe for more content. Subscribe if you guys love the channel. As always, I'll see you in the next one. I'll also put Noodles' YouTube in the description below. Because once again, I'm not here to hate. I'm not here to, you know, whatever, yada yada. Or you know, make this feel like I'm just completely against him. You know, whatever. What's it called? He does make Naruto content. You know what I mean? He is a decent debater. But when, you know, and that's all I'll say for that. But if you guys want to check him out and look at his videos and so on and so forth and get more understanding of him and his thought, you know, process and etc., check out his channel, look at some videos, whatever. I'll let you go from there and be the judge on that. But that'll be it. And as always, see you guys in the next one. Peace.